Well, we've got some hard-hitting ball of our own. It's a grand slam called the NFL on Fox. The Pack and the Bears resume their renowned rivalry over there, you know. Brett's the best, so is his offense. But now, this Pack can also attack on the defense. While the Windy City's no place for a street fight, because Mr. Craig can still wing it, and Curtis can definitely bring it.
Wow. Time now for our Fox Watch. The Green Bay Packers have reasserted themselves as one of the league's powerhouses, and today they travel to Chicago to face the Bears. Now, as I mentioned, this is one of the great rivalries in the NFL, and today's matchup marks the 151st game between these two squads. Our own Pat Summerall is standing by at Soldier Field with this preview. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, JB. The weather is just perfect in Chicago, and as you were talking about, quarterback's a story here as well. You know, out of the 30 teams in the NFL, 10 of them are playing with backup quarterbacks, 5 because of coaches' decisions and 5 because of injury, which is the case here as Dave Craig will start at quarterback for the Bears. Now, last week we talked about Eric Kramer a bit. This morning we talked to him again, and this is what basically he said, that he has the herniated disc in his neck, still a problem. He takes treatment 5 times a week for about a half hour. He has no idea what his future might be for this year, or if indeed he'll be able to play at all again. Robert Brooks for the Packers, their outstanding wide receiver, got a concussion first play of the game last week against Seattle. He's going to play today. He should be fine. He'll wear a protective mouthpiece, as much for his teeth as the concussion that he didn't have in his mouth last week.
As we do each week, it's time for the Porsche Quarterback Report. Here are the best quarterback performances based on their touchdown-to-interception ratio. Mr. Clairvoyant, TB, who will do well?
Oh, James, don't have to go very deep in my brain today. Go right to the top of the list. Brett Favre. Last time he played these Bears, how many touchdown passes did he have? That's right. 5. Count them. 5. Today, another big day for Favre.
I were talking, he said, is it ever a calm day in Chicago? Well, I don't think so, Jim. Not on the lake here. Even though this wind is out of the southwest more to soft, it's coming off the land. All right, right to my left as the kickoff comes from Jeff Yeager. Yeager sends a high floater that's going to be taken by Beebe. Oh, he dropped it. And it goes into the end zone, and he'll down it there. Good move by Don Beebe. But again, remember, the momentum of the ball carried the ball into the end zone. It actually bounced at the 2-yard line past Beebe and into the end zone. And that's not the right way you want to start the game.
No, it isn't, but fortunately, nobody hurt. Packers are worst in the league. One area of their team that's lackluster, returning kickoffs, worst in the league right now, and where they start drives after a kickoff.
Well, all rights to this broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Green Bay Packers Incorporated is prohibited. John Theory starts at the left end position in place of Al Fontenot for the Chicago Bears. Jimmy Flanagan not able to play today. First down at the 20-yard line for the Packers. You had William Henderson and Edgar Bennett in the backfield on first down, and Brett's going to throw on first down. Quick little out pattern to Henderson. He had pressure put on to him by Brian Cox, and he had to flip the ball too quickly. Henderson really hadn't got into a set position. Incomplete forward pass.
That's very typical of Brett's first pass every week, Jim. It's usually just a little bit long, and that's exactly what happened there. Packers blitzed Brian Cox from the outside on that play. Frankie Winters actually did an adequate job of picking him up, just an overthrown ball.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Green Bay Packers is prohibited. All right, it's going to be a second down and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Packers. 2 wide receivers to the right. Looked like somebody moved, and Brett Favre is caught in the backfield. Flags down, and down he goes at about the 10-yard line.
Tell you what happened. Frankie Winters snapped the ball a count early.
Well, there was a flag thrown, and there was no Packer back there blocking. Did somebody grab Brett's face mask?
I thought he grabbed his face mask here, hopefully.
We'll watch Johnny Greer, who is working this game, and the Packers are off to a horrible start in this contest, and Johnny Greer will tell us exactly what it was that went on. Let's listen. No, it's a face mask against the Packers. Wait a minute. Johnny said no, face mask against the Bears.
Packers got a break there because the Packers started the play with a mistake.
Well, and we've got a Bear player who is down on the far side of the field, and the doctor has come running out to take a look at him and to see exactly what is going on. It'll be second down for the Packers, but instead of being second down and 20 yards to go, it'll be upfield, and I think it'll be second down and 5 yards.
Alonzo Spellman being helped off.
So Spellman, who is starting at their right end, they can't afford any more injuries. That's for certain.
Well, not Spellman. He's their #1 rusher there. But also the Packers not very sharp when the center and quarterback cannot get the handoff off. It's just a screw up by Frankie. He snapped the count early.
The basic plays have to be executed in order for the more complicated ones to get done.
The trouble with that is the center is never off sides. Everybody else is caught in their stands. I tell you, I detect an emotional high for these Bears.
Yep.
They're here to play.
All right, it is second down, and they're going to call it 10. So the penalty occurred at the 15. They gave him the 5 back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 yards to go. Brett needs to complete one here. Instead, they go to Edgar Bennett, who tries to find his way outside. Nothing there. He tried to cut back inside from the left, and he's knocked down at about the 20-yard line. And I think not only is the Bear team at an emotional high, so are their fans. But you expected that in this ballgame. They make 4 situational down changes on this play. This is what's new in football today.
Yeah, certainly. They're just matching up personnel with the Packers because the Packers bringing in their passing group.
So it's going to be 3rd and 10, and the Packers really off to a slow start here. Edgar Bennett almost 100 yards last week.
Packers going with 4 receivers, 4 wideouts.
2 left, 2 right. 1 is a slot on the right, the slot on the left. The 2 on the left much closer. Here's Brett back to throw. Got a lot of time. Comes up the sidelines. Caught, and it's incomplete. Caught it out of bounds, apparently, says the official on the far side of the field. That was a heck of an effort by Don Beebe, who went up and caught the ball, but he couldn't bring his feet down in bounds, and the Bears have done well in their first defensive series.
Right, it was a great catch, Jim, and a great pass, but it's no good unless you can get your feet down, so obviously he wasn't in position to do that. Don't want to give the underdog early success. We just did.
And Bobby Ingram is back to return this ball. Ingram is averaging 10 yards a return on punts for the Chicago Bears. He stands back at the 37-yard line. Craig Hentrich to do the kicking. Craig waiting. The Bears look like they're coming up the middle. Craig gets time and kicks it away end over ender, not deep. Going to be taken at the 41-yard line by Ingram, and down he goes immediately because Travis Jervey was there right on his shoulder to knock him down and make sure that he didn't go anywhere with the ball. So it will be the Bears' ball, but they got good field position at the 41, a timeout. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network. Honoring players who've made a difference both on and off the field. True Value, the official hardware store of the National Football League. So, Larry, what you do now, you put a little pressure on your defense to do as well as the Bear defense did in that first series.
And if anything is possible, it is for our defense to rise to the occasion. They've certainly shown their tendency to dominate in the previous games.
David Craig is the quarterback. Rashawn Salaam is the running back. The blocking back is Tony Carter for the Chicago Bears. In motion to the near side comes Ryan Wetnight. He goes back to the outside. Craig throws on first down. Swings it off to the right to Salaam. Met at the 41. Gets away from 2 people. And finally hit and brought down by George Coons after he gets a gain of about 3. Coons was Johnny on the spot because the first 2 tacklers for the Packers made contact but didn't bring him down.
Yeah, they didn't get a good shot at him, and he's not easy to bring down, Jim, even though he hasn't not off to a real good start, but he's a tough guy. No, Salam's the guy they want to get uncranked. He's only averaging 3.1 a rush so far this season.
34 carries, 104 yards. He missed a couple of games with injury. Out of an I formation. Here's the second down play, and 8 to go. Man in motion, Conway to this near side. Here's the handoff to the second man. Whoa. He goes down immediately at the 41-yard line and run over by George Kuntz, who had such a terrific game last week in Seattle.
Boy, George read that pretty quick. He saw that blocking in the offensive line and got right through the hole, and wham.
3rd down and 10. That's the play you're looking for right there.
Absolutely. It sets a tone right there. And you know what? When you get something like that early in the game, it scares coaches from calling that same play later on.
White, Dotson, Gilbert Brown, and Sean Jones across the front 3 for the Packers. The linebackers in the normal rotations, Simmons, Williams, and Kuntz. All right, here it's 3rd down and 10 for the Bears. Single running back for Chicago, and that's Tony Carter, who's the lone running back. Conway in motion. Craig back to throw. Here comes Sean Jones after him. He loops it upfield. It is caught at the 49 and a first down at the 49 of the Packers.
I think
crossing pattern. Craig Newsom was there on the tackle. He's right at the first down marker, and it depends on where they put the ball down. If it's short, it will be awfully close, but I think he's got it right on the marker. They'll bring the sticks up to see whether or not that is a first down. They're going to measure. It's right there in front of them. It's not going to be hard to measure. The sticks, well, I think the sticks they use are here. Maybe they're going to come across.
Conway, a crossing pattern. He's got a lot of field to work with on something like that. A real tough situation for a corner to cover Craig Newsom on the lack of coverage that time.
Well, they're going to bring those sticks in. If you're looking for the best drive of the year, do what Brett Favre does. Head to your local Bergstrom dealership. Check out their unmatched selection of cars and trucks. Bergstrom, for the love of driving. All right, the sticks go down. David Craig with a good throw, and he is going to be short. Now, if you're the Bears and you're the underdogs and you're at the 49-yard line, how much of a gamble would this really be to go for it?
Well, I would go for it, obviously, Jim.
I know you would.
They are going for it. They got to go for it. I don't know whether you quarterback sneak it with a 38-year quarterback or just give it to Rashad, give it to one of your big backs, or go for the bomb. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think also, Larry,
go for the bomb.
Yeah, and they will do that. I was just going to say this. In this situation with the Bears and with Wanstead, you have to be careful of a trick play from him. He did that in the opening game against Dallas.
I tell you, I would have dropped right in the quarterback's ear and say, just fake it to the fullback and I'll be there. That's a great play. We used to run it a lot.
4th down and about 6 inches to go. Larry's
so you guys are a heck of a lot better than the Bears are right now.
They bring everybody in tight with the exception of one wide receiver on the right side. Here is Conway in motion to the far side. Craig tells him to get out split wide right against Craig Newsom. And here's Craig, a long time making the call. He waits. They move in tight, and now he sends a man in motion. Boy, what a messed up play by the Bears. They're trying to draw the Packers offside. The Packers offside, and they get a delay of game.
They're going to kick the ball.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's the most conservative. We were talking about faking it. It's the most conservative way to deal with that situation.
Perhaps they're lulling you for later on because that was just the simplest thing they could do.
Well, Craig went through every kind of movement he could to try to illegal movement. 8,000 guys in motion the whole shot.
He was saying, no, you belong over here. No, you get over there. No, and the Packers just kind of kept creeping in a little tighter.
We were ready for greatness, so we were mentally prepared.
Here is the kick by Todd Sauerbrei. And this is a high floater, and the Packers are going to get out of the way of it, and it goes into the end zone. So we played one series on each side, and the Packers start again, and they will start this time at the 20-yard line one more time on the touchback. We'll get a timeout.
So, too, Jim, I'm not disappointed. I'm glad they didn't go for that because that would really have set the tone here if they could have made that first down. It got the fans going crazy.
I think it whipped out a little bit, don't you?
No. I mean, they got a lot more resting on it than we do. We're in it for entertainment. His job's on the line.
All right, first down at the 20-yard line for the Packers. Brett Favre missing on the first 2 passes that he threw in the ballgame. This is a first down from the 20-yard line. Needs a little better protection than he got in the first series of plays. All right, first down. Here's Favre on a play-action fake. Steps around, fires upfield. This time it's caught at the 30-yard line, and that ought to be good enough for a first down. The receiver is pushed back a little bit, and now we got some looks going on one side to the other. Antonio Freeman is the one who's a little bit upset. Antonio has started to play a major role. He may have to tone down just a little bit the way he acts, but he's a pretty good player with 19 catches so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a great, you talk about rising to the occasion last week, over 100 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns.
Max, how hard is it to switch from a flanker to a split end in the routes that you run?
No problem at all. Especially when Antonio was a backup flanker. Well, yeah, you actually run the same routes. There's absolutely no difference.
First down at the 30. Here's the draw up the middle. It's DeDorsey Levens to the outside, the 35 on his feet to the 38-yard line. He hit it straight up the middle, slid to the outside, and gets about 8 yards to the 38-yard line.
It's a man down for the Packers.
In the secondary, coming up to make the tackle for Chicago was James Burton. And I'm not sure who it is that's down. Are you?
Not at this point. It's John Michaels.
John Michaels, the left tackle of the Packers. Boy, you talk about a position that has caused the problems a great deal of trouble, and John is down, and I'm not sure exactly where they are looking at the moment.
Well, in comes Gary Brown, who's had a couple weeks now to think about his misdeeds from the Viking game. Let's see if he's learned anything.
Well, Gary responded well after his first game. Let's watch and see what happens to Michaels. He got pushed down. It looks like he got bent over a little bit over bodies that were down on the ground. We'll remind you, today's game is brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. For taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. This Bud's for you.
Actually, a real fine block by Adam Timmerman. Real good sustainment on that block is what got John Michaels injured.
So John is down on the ground. It seems like more and more games we've had have been disrupted early by the delay for an injury. Looks to be the right knee, and we're going to take a timeout on the field, so we will take one here. We'll take a break. Back after this. This is the Packer Radio Network. Green Bay. On 2nd and 2, Brett Favre back to throw, comes up over the middle, and the ball is intercepted on a deflection, and the Bears have it at the 46. It is picked off on a deflection by Marty Carter. The ball was in the hands of a receiver for the Packers. Appeared to be a tight end, I'm not sure, Larry. And then the ball deflected from him and comes on the deflection to Marty Carter.
Just an obvious situation, a Packer turnover. They turned the ball over. That was not a forced mistake. That's a mistake on the Packers' part. I thought it was Robert Brooks.
All right, we'll look and see again. It is Brooks who catches the ball, and a great hit on the play. Robert trying to bring it in, actually deflected it right to Carter. So the ball could have been caught. It was the hit that knocked the ball loose. So I look at that as a defensive play.
Yeah, I look at that as a Packer error. Packers turned the ball over that time.
First down at the 45 for Chicago. 2 early breaks for the Bears with good field position. Single running back with a wing on the left side. That's Wetnight, who goes in motion to the right. And Craig on the draw to Salam, trying to pick a hole and doesn't get anywhere. Gets back to the 47-yard line, and that's all.
Host of Packers made the play, but Reggie White destroyed James Big Cat Williams, and that's what stopped it initially.
Max, we saw John Michaels walk off. It appeared to be it wasn't as serious as we might have thought. Well, I hope not, Jim, because obviously they need him. I did hear a rumor that Rutgers was going to start working out next week. He'll be eligible to come off the list after this game. This is game number 6. I was a little shocked how Salam tippy-toed to the line there. He didn't hit the line at all. Second down and 12 for the Bears at the 47-yard line in the Packer territory. Wetnight in motion to the left this time. And here's the handoff. This time he didn't tip through. Salam all the way down to the 38-yard line. Real quick hitter off the left side of the Bear offensive line and down and through to about the 37-yard line, where it becomes a third down and 2 yards to go for Chicago. Nice play and a good hole opened up by the Chicago Bears on that play, Larry, to get the
Packers
yardage.
pulling right guard Chris Valario, a rookie from Indiana of Pennsylvania. He's playing for Todd Berger, played well last week, and they like him.
Berger out of Penn State is 303 pounds, and Valario is 305 pounds, so they gained a couple of pounds. Third down and about 2 at the 35-yard line for the Bears. Here's the quarterback, David Craig. Craig on a deep handoff to Salam this time, and he gets close to the line of scrimmage and then surges forward. He may or may not have the first down. It'll be fourth down in inches, I believe.
Chris Valario just found out that Gilbert Brown, it's no fun to block him. It's better to pull and block somebody else, but Gilbert Brown just destroyed him.
Max, won't be any fake here on fourth down.
No, I think they learned their lessons here. They'll go for it.
Fourth down and about a yard to go for the Bears at the 35-yard line. And Dave Wanstead is saying power charges through there into the lineup for the Packers. Now they bring in another
Bernardo Harris in for Brian Williams, a little beefier guy.
All right, fourth down and a yard to go for the Bears at the 35-yard line of the Packers. Single running back. Man in motion is Wetnight again, and Craig is going to quarterback sneak it, and he got stood up.
Yeah, he got it.
I think he may have the first down. It depends on the mark. They're marking it right at the 35, and that's where the sticks are, so it will depend upon how the ball is put down. No, they already signaled first down. That's interesting that you would signal first down, and they moved the ball across the 35 and said, yes, it is a first down. If Craig could have been pushed backwards, he was stopped on the initial surge, but they couldn't get through to push him backwards.
I think the Packers
there he stopped, and then he keeps going with his feet and leaning forward.
I think that's a credit to Craig. I think the Packers played it pretty well defensively, got good penetration.
First down at the 34-yard line, Chicago. No score in the ball game, but the Bears have the first opportunity. Here's David Craig, short drop, quick pattern to the outside. It's caught at the 29-yard line, and immediately drilled is the receiver, Doug Evans, on the coverage. And the catch is made on this near side by Michael Timpson. That's his 17th catch of the season. That's good for about 5 yards, but Doug Evans was right on top of it.
You can't play it any better than that, Jim. You got to give them a little bit of room and then come up and make the tackle. Obviously, you don't want to give them that much yardage, but not much you can do about it.
Keith Jennings, by the way, was in on that play. He's expected to play just a limited number of plays today. Conway is split wide right for the Bears. Here's Craig on the handoff to Salam. He slid through a hole. He's got the 20. He's inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Leroy Butler on the tackle. He slid through a hole on the right side and then turned it upfield and found a big opening.
That time, Gilbert Brown was working against the Bears center, Jerry Fontenot. Gilbert was controlling him, but picked the wrong side. And Salam, nice running, reading it, and going the other way.
So first down at the 15-yard line, and the Bears starting to get a little bit of feeling for the running game against the Packers.
They were, and he really picked that hole well. There was a big hole there, and he got right in it and got a big gain.
It is a first down at the 15-yard line, Chicago. Craig sends a man in motion. That's Conway to the near side of the field. And David on first down, and the handoff to Salam up the middle again for about a yard. Really submerged as he tried to hit straight ahead. Sean Jones is in there, and a lot of other people who joined him, and maybe a half a yard gain on the play, but no more than that. Well, Midwest Express Airlines wants to take this opportunity to salute A.O. Smith, their partner in travel. Midwest Express Airlines, the best care of the air and the official airline of the Green Bay Packers Radio Network. Second down, let's call it still, 9 yards to go for first down for the Bears. Both receivers go to the left, Timpson outside. Slot man is Conway on the left side. He goes in motion to the right. I formation. Salam is the deep man. The Packers moved a little bit. Here's the handoff to Salam. Again, he tries to slide, and this time he only gets the 13-yard line. Gilbert Brown got a handout, and I think also it was Wayne Simmons who reached in and tripped him up as he tried to slide to the outside. That's the difference in a successful play, about a half a hand reach, and that was it.
Boy, every play would work if you just keep one guy's arm out of that hole, but that's the way defense is set up, to have one guy stop it. Key to the start of the thing was Gilbert Brown stuffing Chris Valario. Can't get any movement on him, hard to get any yardage.
Third down for the Bears at the 13-yard line. Split the two running backs, and one of those is Tony Carter. In motion, now coming to this near side of the field is Salam. And here's Craig on a pass play. Back to throw, rolls to the right, fires toward the end zone. Got a man open. It is caught. And no, it is
Simmons
a touchback intercepted.
Wayne Simmons took it away.
Intercepted by Wayne Simmons, who took it away from the intended receiver. They both went up. It looked like the receiver had the ball.
Well, he did have the ball, Jim, but on the way down, he got it taken away from him. What a play by that linebacker. Ryan Wetnight had it, an all-pro play by Wayne Simmons.
And we have a Packer player down on the field. And they're going to roll him over. Man alive. We'll take a break while we'll find out if he's all right. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network. 4, he got a couple of interceptions. 93 for the Packers, 2 interceptions by Simmons. That's his first of this year. So it's a first down for the Packers at the 20-yard line. The third time they have started from this position. First down, Green Bay. No score in the ball game. And kind of an interesting start to the game. Here's the handoff. Edgar Bennett inside, dives to about the 22-yard line. Took a quick step to the right, but the Bears not giving up any ground so far in the running game, and a couple of yards only gathered in there. 4:19 to go in what's a scoreless first quarter so far.
Rather than let William Henderson get up ahead of steam, the Bear linebackers are attacking him where he's blocking them, but it's taking place 2 yards in the backfield.
We have
that time.
We have a second down. The Bears have been really on top of the receivers here in the early part of this game. Bennett is on motion to the right. Back goes Favre to throw a little down and out pattern, caught by Brooks at a first down at the 32-yard line and shoved out of bounds on the play by Donnell Wolford. And if you want a clinic on how to run a down and out, that's the perfect pattern right there.
Yeah, perfect pass, Jim. That is it takes a great arm to throw that pass, and that's exactly what Brett Favre has.
Takes a guy who runs it precisely, too, doesn't it?
It really does, but nobody, no matter how good you run it, if that ball's not timed and right on the line, somebody will step in there like they almost did. A few extracurriculars between Gary Brown and Alonzo Spellman at the play's end. It'll be interesting to watch that battle as we go on.
Going to be second down. It's a knee strain or sprain for John Michaels, and they're icing it down at the moment, which generally means he won't be back. Here is Brett Favre rolling to the right. Now wants to step up and will run to the outside. Fakes a run and is going to be caught at the 30 and ripped down by the Chicago Bears' Vincent Smith, who then put some cleat marks up the back of Brett Favre after he did that, as he did a little war dance over the quarterback. I didn't think you were allowed to do that, but he kind of did the war dance over the quarterback.
Is that taunting? Is that what they call it?
A little bit of taunting that was going on there by Vincent Smith, a 10-year player out of East Carolina. But there's no question the Bear defense is charged up.
Yeah, the protection really wasn't bad on that play. A lot of times we've seen Brett do just what he did there and complete a big pass downfield. Nobody open.
But it's second down and 13 with a loss of 3 on the sack by the Chicago Bears. Here's Brett Favre, sends a man in motion to the right. That's Chimera. Then a quick handoff inside. Edgar Bennett dives to only about the 33-yard line. He had one man with an arm around his leg, and that was Joe Kane, and Joe wouldn't let him loose, and he couldn't get through. If he gets through that, he's going to make some yards.
Part of the problem there, they pulled Aaron Taylor on the play, and Aaron had some indecisiveness about which hole to cut up in, and that got in the way. Edgar slowed the thing down.
So it's a 3rd and 10. This isn't as easy as we thought it could be.
Well, you can tell the Bears spent a lot of time watching that Minnesota game on how they got to the Packers and how they got to the quarterback.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 9 yards to go for the first down. 4 wide receivers for the Packers, 2 left, 2 right. Favre is back in the pocket looking. Now he looks for a man to come over the middle, gives it to Robert Brooks. First down at the 45, up to midfield and out of bounds in Bear territory, somewhere around the 49-yard line. Trying to come back and block for him, Antonio Freeman, and they all kind of hit Brooks as he went out of bounds over there at the 49-yard line. Beautiful pass, a little finesse pass by Brett over the middle.
Great matchup the Packers got by formation. Barry Minter, a linebacker, trying to follow Robert Brooks. Come on, he couldn't do it. You give him all year to do that, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Henderson comes back into the lineup along with Bennett. And now, trying to read the clock, it's hard to see. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. in this scoreless first quarter. The Packers and the Bears from Soldier Field in Chicago.
First time the Packers have got beyond the 50-yard line.
They're at the 49 of the Bears. In motion to the right goes Chimura again. Here is the handoff. Bennett cuts inside a blocker and gets only back to the 48-yard line for a gain of about a yard. And the Bears are really stuffing the middle so far on the Packers. Off the top of that pile for Chicago comes Paul Krasmanis, a rookie out of Notre Dame who's filling in for Jim Flanagan.
That time, the double lead play, they're pulling Aaron Taylor, running William Henderson up through the hole, and that time Aaron and William getting confused and so forth. And until we get that kind of stuff straightened out, our running game will look like it's looked so far.
Which is?
Not real good.
Okay.
Lousy, okay?
Just wanted to get that cleared up. You know, you can depend on your car to perform, depend on 76 gasolines to keep it a performance car. Second down, 9 yards to go. Brett on the draw this time to Henderson, picking a hole only to the 45 and a gain of about 3 yards. Kind of a draw play. First contact made for the Bears by Carl Simpson, fourth-year player out of Florida State, 6'2", 298 pounds. And it becomes a third down and 6 yards to go for the first down for the Packers.
Key play here, Jim, to keep this drive alive. The Packers need a big play out of one of those receivers. Maybe we'll look for the tight end in this situation.
Some kind of conservative play calling here early.
Well, I thought so, too. That was it looks conservative. Well, you don't get execution, though. 4 wideouts in there for the Packers.
All right, third down and 6 for the Packers at the 45 of the Bears. Wolford comes right up to the line of scrimmage. Favre with a short drop, and the flag goes down, and I think something happened before the snap, and that may have meant that the Packers had motion before illegal procedure, and that's what it will be, illegal procedure on the part of the Packers before the ball is snapped. A tentative Packer team, and we saw some of this in the first quarter last week against Seattle, and that's what concerned Mike Holmgren this week.
You know, the Bears brought up some extra folks, safeties and so forth, and they did blitz on the play. And sometimes when that happens, people get edgy and so forth, worried about making the adjustments. They're not concentrating and focusing on that snap count.
The Wisconsin Volkswagen dealers want to put you in the driver's seat of a Jetta GL. Come in for a test drive. Call 1-800-DRIVE-VW for a conveniently located dealership near you.
3-man rush for the Bears, rather.
Third down and 11. Favre with a quick pattern to the outside, overshot his intended receiver. That was Desmond Howard on a slant pattern, and it was an overthrow by Brett Favre. He was trying to get a quick hitter by Howard, and if it's right on time, Howard might have been able to break free.
Right. You don't want to throw that slant that high, Jim. You got to throw it down to the body so you can catch it between and usually get between the defender. Not a very good round by the Pack.
Not only that, but you don't want to kill your wide receiver. He got hit in the ribs when he went up to try to catch that ball.
That time, Brett read blitz. The Packers had, the Bears rather had 3 defensive linemen, but they blitzed a linebacker and a safety. Brett read it and unloaded quickly, too quickly.
Hendrick is in to do the kicking for the Packers in this scoreless game. Here's Craig's high floater. And they're going to come up and call for a fair catch at the 16-yard line, and they did. Fair catch, 16-yard line. The Bears will take over there. And we now have no time left in the quarter. That is the end of the first quarter. With no score in the ball game, we'll take a break and be back. Quick score contest. Today's contestants, Robert Buchholz from Fremont, Wisconsin. Robert Buchholz thinks that Chris Jackie will be the first Packer to score in the second quarter. He's already won a gift certificate from Quick Trip, and if Chris Jackie scores first this quarter, Robert will win a year's supply of quality gasoline from Quick Trip. To enter, stop at your neighborhood Quick Trip stores throughout Wisconsin. It is a first down for the Bears back at the 16-yard line. Here's Craig with a pitch to Salam, trying to get outside. He's all the way back to the 5-yard line, being chased from behind and brought down to the 3. Holy cow. Chased down on a great play by Doug Evans, who got through and just simply outran him as Salam tried to reverse the field.
The guy who made that play was Leroy Butler. He got in Todd Perry's face, the pulling guard, and he just made that play, forced it back inside. I'll tell you one thing, the running back did exactly what you don't want to do that close to the goal line, and that's not just go ahead and turn it upfield, because he gave away the whole series.
By the way, Quick Trip proudly introduces Cafe Caruba, fresh brewed coffee and cappuccino. Pick up your Aruba sweepstakes game piece. Here is the handoff, and nothing for the Bears as they try to wedge it out and get to about the 5-yard line. You got to visit any of your neighborhood Quick Trip stores, and you could win a trip to Aruba. So now it is third down, and this is where you'd like to see David Craig make a mistake, Max. The ball's back at the 6-yard line, and he's got a good 20 yards yet to go.
I guarantee you they're going to play a defensive game, Jim. They're not going to take a big risk down here. They're going to go ahead and punt the ball after this down, and they're not going to go for a 20-yard first down.
By the way, our Bud Packer payoff contestant in the second quarter, Anthony Ostrowski from Wild Rose, Wisconsin. All right, here is the third down play for David Craig. Craig waiting. Craig goes straight back in the pocket here. They come after him. He's going to go long upfield. Some bumping going on and broken up by Newsome. Both of them battling for the ball, and they tried to go long. They weren't very conservative there. Give them credit for that.
A lot of quacks on that ball, Max. What you think?
Was that a floating duck?
Yeah, get out the shotgun.
That's why I thought maybe they'd be a little more conservative, but Craig put about everything he had in that one. It went about 40 yards.
You know, there was a lot of bumping that went on that play, but Craig Newsome had every right to the ball as well. He was playing the ball all of the way, and so was the intended receiver. Here's Sauerbrunn back at the end of his end zone to kick. The Packers put on some pressure up the middle, and Desmond Howard, boy, he drilled one.
What a kick.
Howard goes all the way back to the 39, needs a little block, comes left to the 40, to the 45, and up to the 47. Good return by Desmond Howard, who was there and available to him. No score still in the ball game here in the second quarter. Back after this break on the Packers Radio Network.
Remember when you were young, after Packer games, you'd act like Paul Horn?
And we're still scoreless, and we have 13:21 to go in the first half of the game.
Best field position of the day for the Packers to start a drive, Jim. Maybe they can get something out of this.
47-yard line was a single running back for the Packers. Here's Brett Favre on first down. Here comes Spellman. He gets away from him. Flips the ball off to the left side. Edgar Bennett in the midfield strike. Edgar comes inside, caught from behind and knocked down at about a first down marker at the 43-yard line. Edgar Bennett did a good job, Max, of keeping running. And the left side, or the right defensive side, Alonzo Spellman came in, and Brett stepped up inside him to buy some time.
Yeah, Gary Brown got whipped on the play, plain and simple, and Brett did a great job of buying some time, making the completion. The offensive line was 1-on-1 in that play. Aaron Taylor got down and knocked Joe Kane right on his rear end.
Brett is 4 out of 8 so far in the ball game, and that one was for 9 yards. Here's the quick pitch to Edgar Bennett, finding the corner, turns it upfield, and steps inside a tackler, Donnell Wolford, who brings him down, but not before he gets the 2 yards that he needs for the first down. Well, quality, great selection, and the lowest overall prices are the reasons you should make Roundy's Pick and Save your one and only food store. For the best overall value, shop at Roundy's Pick and Save. When it comes to price, they're still talking low. Every minute the Bears stay in here tied, they gain a little more confidence in this ballgame.
Well, I think you're right. I think definitely the Packers need to put some pressure on them this series. They're in good shape right now.
First down at the Bear 43-yard line of the Packers out of an I formation. Then they split into a pro set. And Brett looks to be changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Now the fans try to help out by making noise, so he can't do it. Here they come, and Brett with a quick hot pattern off to Robert Brooks to the 35, maybe the 34-yard line. He saw the blitz coming, and he just flipped it off to the left side. Robert Brooks, who had about a 5-yard cushion, and he gets near the first down marker inside the 35-yard line.
Real nice work inside by Aaron Taylor and Frankie Winters. Brian Cox came right now. You got to keep that inside firm to complete that pass, and that's what they did.
Gain of about 9. That's the best. You know, when you can recognize what's happening, you can do a lot of things, can't you?
I tell you, Brooks is a great man for that play because he's a good runner when he catches that ball.
So it's going to be second down, about 1.5 yards to go at the 34-yard line of the Bears. Here's Brett Favre rolling to the right. Quick pattern comes off to Brooks on the right, out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Packers. Robert Brooks working overtime after not doing much last week. He played one play. Already he's caught 4 passes.
I tell you, very intelligently, the Packers are going to very quick passes, and I think that's what they do because they're not actually blocking the Bears that well, so just go ahead and roll out and throw it quick.
And this is a help on the left side for Gary Brown.
Yeah, you don't have to protect as long, and plus, you know, when you're struggling a little bit, go back to your bread and butter stuff. Get on track a little bit. Get some success going. That's what they're doing.
Well, 2 ways you can do that. You can run the play and make those successful. That makes them not come so hard. Or you can do the quick rhythm. In motion goes Keith Jackson to the right. Here's the inside handoff to Bennett. Rather, across the 25, inside the 25, down to the 20, almost the 19-yard line, and close to a first down. And that would be 3 successive first down plays that are 9 yards or better on first down.
Tell you what, Earl Dotson and Adam Timmerman did such a fine job of blowing out the side of the Bears defensive line. Adam Timmerman pulled through. Aaron Taylor pulled through and had nobody to block.
First down at the second down, rather, at about a half a yard at the 20-yard line of the Chicago Bears.
You know what I liked about no indecision by Bennett? He went ahead and got in that hole quick and moved it upfield.
Second down and short yardage for the Packers out of an I formation. You can't be sure the Packers are going to run, although they decide to this time, and Bennett has the first down to about the 18-yard line. Edgar Bennett on a straight-ahead charge. Well, the Packers make the best out of every window of opportunity. And Verhalen, your Pella window store, offers you an opportunity to buy designer series windows and get the exclusive between glass shades and wood dividers free. Only from Verhalen, your Pella window store. Ball's at the 18, first down.
Some want to keep an eye on Robert Brooks is matched up against James Burton, a backup cornerback. Walt Harris not playing for the Bears right now. And Burton, he's a little injured going in. And Burton is a backup, so they like that matchup. They have to.
And they got Brooks split off to the right side. Freeman is tight to the left. Here's Brett on first down. Brett looking, now running, now gambling to the left. And he fires it
wide open.
Zone, touchdown. Robert Brooks, who kept running and buying time that time, was Brett Favre sliding left and then throwing, running left, throwing right, and hitting him perfectly.
Yeah, what a vision there by Brett, Jim. He looked all over the field, stepped up, had Brooks on his mind all the way, and threw a perfect pass.
Just the way they drew it up, huh, fellas? That's just individual athletic quarterbacking ability right there.
And I don't understand, and maybe you don't either, but Max ought to, how hard it is to run left and throw right.
Oh, I mean, you got to have some kind of rifle for an arm to be able to do what he just did.
He even threw with his left foot out front.
Here is the kick on the way. The kick is up through and good. 7-0 the Packers.
He's ambi-footed,
field. Back after this word from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
The human body wasn't cast from a single mold, and people don't come in just one size. So why should you be treated like
Brooks? That is touchdown number 4 this season. Number 4 for Robert Brooks. Packers lead 7-0. Craig Hentrick will do the kicking off from the 30-yard line. Back deep. We'll wait and see. Here is the kick, and this one is going deep, and it is going to be taken 1 yard in by Bobby Ingram. To the 10, up the right side to the 15, to the 20. Flag thrown from long range, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Ingram, with the flag thrown from the sidelines, generally means that it's going to move backward a little bit, and we'll let them do that, and the Bears will start from their own territory quite deep. For your family's banking, rely on the best. Rely on First Financial Bank. Currently the best bank in Wisconsin, according to Money Magazine. First Financial Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC. The drive was 53 yards in 7 plays. Generally, in the first 5 games, once the Packers do that, they seem to open up things after that first touchdown.
Yeah, once they break the ice, they seem to get a flow going. And that time, hey, they got their basic stuff on them. Running the football, some passing and throwing. And Brett, as Max pointed out earlier, Brett gets untracked. And once he gets in the flow, I mean, it's no contest most of the time.
Well, he's 7 out of 11 for 79 yards now. And remember this, that is his 17th TD pass, 3 interceptions. First down at the 9-yard line for the Bears after the penalty is marked off. Stagger, the running backs. A man in motion to the left side is the tight end, Neely. Here's the handoff to Rasan Shalom to the 10, maybe the 11-yard line, and a gain of a couple of yards. He tried to hit off the Packer right defensive side, and he's brought down. Gilbert Brown's back in the ballgame. Gilbert had an elbow injury, apparently not too serious, because he came right back.
But Gilbert's tough, and as Larry's brought out many times, he has been one of the great additions to this defensive line this year. Has made a tremendous difference in them.
Larry, I don't see him smile very often, but when he does smile, he kind of lights up a place, doesn't he?
He could light up, lift the place, light it up, you name it, he could do it.
Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball dropped loose on the ground. Who got it? The Bears or the Packers? It's down around the 7 or 8 yard line. It appeared the snap was uncertain, and they haven't signaled, and it's going to be the Bear ball. Bear ball back at about the 7-yard line. So he lost a couple of yards on the play. He mishandled the snap, or the snap came up too quickly. I'm not sure which.
Well, so far what the Bears had to consider an encouraging start has deteriorated rapidly.
Yeah, they need to, if they don't do something here, they're going to give the Packers good field position again with 8:22 to go in the first half of the game, and the Packers out in front, 7-0. But the Bears have held up well so far, and David Craig says, I can't handle this. Give me a timeout. So he takes a timeout. We'll take a break, and we'll be back after we pause for this on the Packer Radio Network. What happened? Brooks scoring means that our contestant today in the quick score isn't going to win, is it? Because he picked.
Jim, did you do that Bud one?
I did do that.
All right,
Gosh,
I missed that.
I'm so good at that.
Did I miss a Bud?
No, not in the lifetime since I've known you. Robert Buchholz from Fremont. Robert had picked that it would be done by Chris Jackie. Unfortunately for him, it was Robert Brooks. Fortunately for the Packers. All right, third down and about 11. They have a wide receiver to the right with a slot on the right, and back goes Craig to throw, and here comes Santana Dotson. He fires it upfield. Oh. It's caught. I don't think he got the foot in.
He's going to give it to him, though.
Oh, no. My goodness, he only got 1 foot in. If they give that to him at the 22, I don't think he was pushed out of bounds either. That was a good throw by David Craig, but it appeared that only 1 foot came down inbounds for the receiver on this right sidelines for Chicago.
Well, you said it exactly right. Only one foot was down, but they did call the fact that they thought he could have got it down if he'd not been pushed, but it's very close.
You know what?
call.
I don't think he was even pushed. It looked to me like he was coming straight down. It doesn't make any difference. It's a first down for the Bears and a big play for them. It's Wet Knight in motion to the outside out of an I formation, and here's Craig play action fake, and here comes Reggie White. David has to get rid of the ball, does to about the 30, and a first down at about the 32-yard line, caught by Michael Timpson. I don't know what happened to Doug Evans, but he totally lost Timpson on the play, and Timpson gets the first down on a nice play by David Craig, and don't let him get into a streak like this.
You're right, Jim. He is known to get hot against the Packers, and those two plays, to get him from that field position, that's the biggest thing he's done today.
You know, Evans got caught looking inside after he made the initial contact, and Timpson went outside. He started looking inside to help out, and the ball came right back to where he looked away from. So it's a first down all the way out to the 34-yard line. The Bears from the 7 to the 34 in 2 plays. And here's Craig. Craig with a play-action fake comes with a slant pattern. It's caught for a first down again to the 47-yard line, and Craig is in a hot streak right now. That ball caught by Curtis Conway. Now, let's see. Is it Conway? I don't believe it was Conway who caught the ball. I think it's Bobby Ingram who caught it on a quick slant, and the Bears are in a good groove.
Bears really sold the run on that play. Play action pass, actually pulled the guard, the whole shot, really sold the run well.
So it's going to be a first down at their own 48-yard line. What a nice move by the Bears. 6:47 to go in the first half of a ball game, led by the Packers by the score of 7-0.
Yeah, that's a big psychological move when you got your back to the goal line, 3rd and 2nd and long, and to come out of there, that'll give you a lot of momentum.
Now they go with 3 wide receivers and a single running back on a first down at the 48-yard line, and Craig again has to call a timeout. David Craig has to take another timeout, and that's 2 he's used already. He had whatever play he had, he didn't like what was staring him straight in the face.
17 years in the league, you wonder what the Packers are throwing up that's so confusing. They look pretty standard from up here.
All right, good neighbor State Farm is there. What do we got in the division so far?
Well, Detroit 14, Atlanta nothing. That's not a surprise. Minnesota finally scored, and they lead 7-0. Of course, a big upset down here. Seattle 14, Miami 3. That's kind of an upset.
In the second quarter of all of those games. First down at the 48-yard line for the Chicago Bears, who've moved it all the way out from their 7-yard line on this series of plays. David Craig has used 2 timeouts in this drive. Here's David, long count, back to play action. The ball tipped up in the air, almost intercepted. Tipped up by the inside. Could be Simmons or it could be Williams. And the ball nearly picked off by George Kuntz, who dived for it. Incomplete forward pass.
Brian Williams blitzed on the play. He was picked up by Rashaan Salam, but instantly recognized the ball was off, got his hands up, and knocked it down. Darn near an interception.
Yeah, that would have been a big play right there if Kuntz could have dived and made the catch, but he was unable to do so. The ball just floating up in the air. So it's going to be second down, Chicago. That might slow their momentum a little bit. They had 3 rhythm plays in the last 3 that were just terrific. Here's David Craig on a second down and 10 yards to go at the 47-yard line, 47 and a half. Here's the handoff straight ahead to Shalom to midfield and a couple of yards beyond that, down to perhaps the Packer 48-yard line.
Reggie falling in off Big Cat Williams' block.
Salam now with a total of 10 carries and not much yardage, 17 yards. But you know what? That happened in Minnesota, too, but they kept with it. And then eventually Robert Smith broke a big play.
Dave Wanstead said about his running game, well, all he can say a lot of games is we got one. It doesn't gain a lot of yards sometimes, but we got a running game.
6 minutes and a half, third down and about 6 for the Bears at the Packer 49-yard line. The Packers lead 7-0. 2 to the right, 2 to the left on wide receivers for Chicago, and a single running back for David Craig. Craig with a long count at the line of scrimmage. Craig short drop, quick pattern to the outside. It is caught, and it appears to be a first down at the 41-yard line by Curtis Conway. Newsome right there on him, but what Craig is doing is getting some nicely run routes and getting the ball to his receiver.
Yeah, very obvious what they were going to do, Jim, and just couldn't stop it. When you get the perfect pass there's no stopping that particular play, and they got a big first down.
Ball is inside the Packer 42-yard line, and the Bears, what a tremendous drive they have going right now. 5:16 remaining. It started officially at the 9.
In the past, the Packers have been able to create a turnover in situations like this.
They've been on the field a long time defensively in this series. To the outside goes Curtis Conway. Here is the delay handoff to Salam. Slides through to about the 39-yard line. He was looking for the hole to open up. It never did. Butler may have been the one who made the tackle for the Packers at about the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, second down, and 7 for Chicago. This is what happened in Minnesota. Minnesota kept the ball so long that the Packer offense never gained any momentum in the second half of the ball game. But this is still the first half.
Right now, the Bears are playing the game the way they want to offensively. Safe, conservative passing, running the football, eating the clock. They got to play mistake-free to win.
4:32 remaining in the first half of the game. Split the two running backs. Carter is the lead back for Rashaan Salaam. Back to pass goes David Craig. Oh, the pressure on him, and a ball knocked away. Intended up here at the 30-yard line for Timpson or Bobby Ingram. Which is it? I'll have to wait and see when he turns around. And a great defensive play. Came right over the top and hit him just as the ball arrived. It was Conway, and no complaint from Conway. He knew the hit and knocked the ball loose.
Some nice pressure up front as well. The Packers blitzing Wayne Simmons and Brian Williams.
Oh, this is Newsom who makes a great hit, sticks his hand around the side, and knocks the ball loose at the same time.
Perfect timing by Craig Newsom. That is one way to stop those turn-ins, is to get right on top of the guy.
Third down and 8 yards to go for the Bears at the 40-yard line of the Packers. All right, a single running back, and you got triplets on the right side for Chicago. Here's Craig back to throw. Here they come after him. Santana Dotson trying to break free. Oh, that's going to... No flag thrown. The receiver and the defender both going after the ball, and they ruled that it was just incidental contact.
There was Eugene Robinson and Michael Timpson, and thank you, Mr. Referee.
Why, you got to think that's an interference call. David Craig is all over the official, so it's punting time for Chicago. My goodness, we just saw the replay, and that's clearly a penalty, don't you think?
Well, that's illegal contact, plus the fact I rule it that he couldn't have caught it anyway, so that's what
that was assault and battery. Illegal contact.
Sauerbrunn to do the kicking for Chicago. He's going to throw a pass. There's a man open, and it is caught by the Bears, and a first down at the 23. Well, they didn't really get caught. They had coverage on it, but the catch on the far side was a tremendous catch made by Bobby Ingram.
Well, you had to expect something like that, Jim, from Onstad, especially him being a big underdog here. You knew the Bears were going to pull all the tricks out.
But the coverage is there.
Yeah, the Packers had the matchup you'd want in that situation. They had a cornerback on a wide receiver, but again, that moment of surprise cost Tyrone Williams.
Yeah, he held on to it. He almost dropped the ball, but he did hold on, and David Craig's back out there at the 23-yard line. First down for the Bears, and this drive continues, and it started at the 9.
Danny Abramowitz, a special teams coach, is never afraid to take a chance.
That's how they beat Dallas, with some trick plays. And the first down play by Craig, he throws it to the outside and intended it for Ryan Wetnight. And Wetnight and Craig weren't on the same page. Good coverage by Brian Williams out in the right defensive flat of the Green Bay Packers. Second down. Kohl's Department Store is your headquarters for great Packer merchandise. Jackets, sweatshirts, jerseys, and hats. If you're a Packer fan, we'll make it worth your while at Kohl's. That's more like it. Give you a station break right now, 10 seconds. This is the Packer Radio Network.
Sunday afternoon, whether I'm working or not, the radio's always next to me with Jim and Max and the Packers.
News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Here's the second down play. The handoff to Salaam, trying to slide away, and he gets only back to the line of scrimmage before the Packers can drill him there. Santana Dotson up high, and Brian Williams down low to stop him.
Tell you what, despite his height, all 6'7" of it, Sean Jones is a tough man to drive block. He is tough to move. He plays the run very well. He did right there.
So it's going to be third down and about 10 for the Bears at the Packer 23-yard line. And the third or fourth time on this drive, Max, the Packers have had an opportunity to stop them.
You got to get the big third down play. So far, the Bears have been completing, and we got to stop this one.
So it's third down and 10. Craig with 3 wide receivers to the left. Here's Craig on a handoff, and they're going to try to run outside. What an interesting call. Michael Hicks, a rookie out of South Carolina State, who's averaging 3.6 yards a carry, is dropped for no gain.
Darius Holland doing a great job of diagnosing the play, shedding the blocker, and making the tackle. Fine play by Holland.
That bit of trickery didn't work, did it?
It appears to me that they like to kick 40-yard field goals because that's what they went for there.
Jeff Yeager will kick this one. He has a 46-yarder. He's 5 out of 5 since he replaced Carlos Huerta for Chicago. Sauerbrunn will hold. The ball is down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is a high floater that goes through, and it's 7-3 in favor of the Packers. So the field goal culminates a 91-yard drive by the Bears. True Value is proud to sponsor the True Value NFL Man of the Year Award, honoring players.
Minimum up, so they're going to have to start all over again.
Well, today's game is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm and Milwaukee Tools, the professional tool choice. Mills Fleet Farm has the Milwaukee tools you need to get the job done right. Always hard in the division to win on the road. Don't ever let anybody kid you about that. The kickoff will come from Yeager. And the Packers with Beebe to the far side, Jervy to this near side on the kick return team. Here is a low bounder that is going to be taken at the 23-yard line, and the runner doesn't know what to do with it exactly. That's Henderson. Now he does, to the 40, to the 45, the 47-yard line.
He found out pretty quick,
Yeah,
didn't
you know, he was looking for somebody to give it to, Max, and then somebody said, well, maybe I better run this thing.
No, he was letting the wedge get in front of him, Jim. That's all he was doing, is waiting for the blockers, and turned out to be good field position.
Yeah, the 47-yard line, and that's with 2:02 remaining here in the first half of the ball game. So the Packers have some good position from which to work, and they're all the way out to the 47.
Imagine the surprise of the coverage unit for the Bears. They're expecting Don Beebe, and they get all 255 pounds of William Henderson coming at you.
Well, not only that, I think he was just trying to skip that baby through, and it went on a fly right to Henderson. Henderson said, I'll just catch this thing, and he did. Ball is at the 47-yard line. The Packers in their own territory. And with 2:02 remaining in the ball game, the Packers still with 3 timeouts. They can run this play, and they're going to reverse it to Brooks, and Brooks gets away from 2 defenders. He's looking for a block, can't get it, goes up the sidelines and out of bounds. Well, they didn't fool anybody from the Bears, but Brooks didn't lose anything. We'll get the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in the half back after this from your local station. A 7-3 ball game, and I would admit to you, Max, I'm a little surprised. I expected more scoring here in the first half.
Well, you know, for some reason I didn't, Jim, because the Bears knew coming in they got to hold the Packers down. They're not going to put up a lot of points with this offense. I thought they would really come in fired up, and they have been, and they've kept the Packers out of the end zone here, except for that beautiful pass by Brett Favre, but they need a field goal here before halftime at least.
Second down and 9 yards to go at the 48-yard line in their own territory for the Packers. Freeman is in motion to the right. Brett with a quick pump fake. Now he has to dance around and looks, and Robert Brooks has come back to the ball, and Brett's going to run it out of bounds at about the midfield stripe. He had Brooks wide open out there, who had come back and established a position down around the 40-yard line, but Brett instead ran the ball and took it out at the at midfield. I'm not sure what he was looking for, Larry, downfield.
Well, the initial play was to be a hitch and go. Yes. So he made the fake, and then when he saw he didn't have him beat Brooks, he ended up pulling up, and I don't think Brett was ready for that.
So the ball is at the 50-yard line.
Receiver normally have that kind of flexibility?
Well, not normally. I guess possibly, but I doubt it.
Well, if you don't get one here, you're going to have to give the ball up. It's at midfield. Freeman is in motion to the right. Here's Brett. Fakes, rolls to the right. He's got Freeman out there with a couple of guys in front of him. He's got a first down to the 40-yard line. Nicely run screen by the Packers. He had 3 blockers and only 2 defenders in the early going, and the Packers get a first down at the 40-yard line and take a timeout. And they'll conserve some time with 1:39 remaining. Well, today's game is brought to you by Aaron's Outdoor Power Equipment and your local Aaron's dealer. Aaron's, the best from start to finish.
Good job getting out there by Adam Timmerman and Frankie Winters. Got people blocked. You know, you get out there, so many times you see offensive linemen just flail at people, but those guys got out and got their bodies on people.
And, Max, I thought that was good play calling, too, on the part of the Packer sidelines.
I'll tell you what made it good, Jim. They faked the screen to the left and left only 2 guys on the defense left to block, and they got 2 blockers out there real quick, and it was still a quick screen, even though they faked it. That was an excellent play.
So a first down at the Bear 40-yard line. Still 2 timeouts left and 1:39 remaining for the Packers. Well, where can you find the best return team? You'll find it at your local McDonald's with fan favorites like the Big Mac and the Quarter Pounder with cheese. You'll want to return there time and time again. At halftime, we'll find out what Lynn Casper and Bill Scott think about the first half of this ball game. Get some stats and other information for you. Catch you up on all the scores. First down at the 40-yard line. Brett Favre straight back in the pocket. Wants to throw it deep. Now fires it downfield. There's Freeman trying to break free. A little over his head. Had to release it a little too quickly, and he couldn't get around James Burton, the defender, at about the 15-yard line. Had to run a little circle route, Max. Had he been able to go straight, that ball would have been perfect for him for the touchdown.
Yeah, that would have been a TD, I think, if he hadn't had that rush, which made him fire a little bit too soon.
Yep, he broke free from Burton, but it was just a step too late to grab the ball.
Brett didn't get hit, but Gary Brown allowing Alonzo Spellman to push him back just uncomfortably close to Brett.
Hard to throw it long with that kind of pressure on you. 1:33 to go, second down at the 40-yard line of the Bears for the Packers. Need a good completion in order to get it within field goal range. Here's the quick slant pattern and a first down at the 30-yard line to Antonio Freeman. Freeman on the quick slant, and Brett hustles them to the line of scrimmage. That was a perfectly thrown ball and a nice catch by Freeman in traffic.
It really was, and a good call, Jim. One more of those, and you are in field goal range, and also you're getting closer to that end zone.
118. Here's a quick pattern to the outside. Freeman had to look back, and the ball hit him in the hip, and he couldn't quite bring it in down around the 24-yard line. He just turned it out, and Brett threw it slightly behind him. That's a hard catch to make.
Yeah, it got there too quick. He didn't quite get it turned around. Even though he knew it was coming, he just couldn't control it.
Well, they didn't waste the play. They were trying to actually get 5 or 6 yards out of the play and stop the clock as well, but they stopped the clock, didn't get the yardage.
It was a catchable ball. Been a good catch, but a catchable ball. If Antonio makes it, they're in great shape.
Notice how easy it is for those linemen to catch those behind-the-back passes?
Yeah, well, that's not unusual.
I said catchable, not easy.
Second down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Here's Brett, straight back in the pocket. Great protection now. Comes up over the middle, and it's caught at the 10 to the 9-yard line, and Brett takes the timeout. What a catch by Freeman this time. I mean, he got drilled at about the 12, and he shook it off, and he gets up with a little wiggle after making the catch down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
I think Antonio was surprised he broke that tackle.
You know, it's funny. He got hit so hard that he almost lost the football, Jim. That's why he had trouble recovering. He had to regroup and get that football, make sure he caught it.
Max, look at the trajectory on this ball. Here is a bullet, little behind Freeman. That's a great catch by Antonio Freeman. But what a throw by Brett Favre, just bullet down the middle.
I'll tell you, there hadn't been an arm like that I can remember ever.
1:02, and you're down to one timeout remaining. You have a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line of the Chicago Bears. And with the one timeout, and with a minute 2, you can still run the ball here if you desire to do so.
Yeah, they've got all their offense to work here, and they'd like to save that timeout, though, for a field goal in case one is needed.
You know, you could win a new Arctic Cat Puma Deluxe snowmobile. No purchase is necessary. Just enter when you visit your participating Arctic Cat dealer, including Sportsman Service Center south of Three Lakes or Sales and Service in Tomahawk. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Chimera steps into the backfield before the Packers, goes in motion to the left. Here's Brett Favre on the 1st down play. Straight back in the pocket. Looking. Now he's going to dance off to the left. Fires it up to Edgar Bennett at the 5. Bennett gets a block at the 3. Down to about the 2-yard line. They're at the 2, and Brett says hurry to the line of scrimmage. At 52 seconds to go, it is 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Brett's got the clock in front of him, so he knows how much time he has.
And he's got to run a regular
44 seconds.
He's got to run a regular play here, Jim. He don't want to just
no, he doesn't want to waste it. Here's Brett, straight in the pocket, looking. Now pumps in the middle, touchdown. Keith Jackson over the middle, and Brett Favre has hit his 18th touchdown pass of the year. Just a little flip over the middle.
Well, you can't believe how open Jackson was again there, Jim, and a beautiful pass.
Just like last week, Keith Jackson, linebacker trying to cover him. He uses a nice arm over move to the inside and gets open.
So the Packers with a great drive. They got the ball with about 2:05 to go, and they get it into the end zone, and still 35 seconds remain to be played here in the first half.
What a good-looking 2-minute drill.
Oh, was it ever.
That was great poise by that Brett Favre, I'll tell you that.
Jackie with the extra point. So Favre goes to Jackson, and that is number 6 for Keith Jackson.
You know what's remarkable? Jackson only has 11 catches, 6 of them for touchdowns.
You know what I said to him Wednesday when we were up at practice? I said, Keith, if he would throw you 50 passes, you'd wind up with 25 touchdowns this season. He said, oh, I wish he would.
Did he look at you like you were strange?
Yeah, well, I am strange. 2 yards is the distance on the touchdown. He's not getting many yards on the touchdowns, but he's getting enough.
He's ringing a bell. That's what counts.
See, what happened there is he got an inside release. That's one of the no-nos is to let that tight end get inside like that because there's nobody left.
But remember, that whole thing set up by the kick by Jager that was taken by Henderson, who returned it to the 47.
You betcha. They opened the drive with good field position.
53 and 9 plays by the Packers, 14-3, Green Bay. Well, see, that's what we were talking about. Had they been able to get that ball right back after that first touchdown, they were in a groove. You just felt they were ready to go. Now you're going to get a little momentum shift when you get to the halftime. You don't want the Bears to do anything in this 35 seconds that remains. Here's Craig Hentrick with the kickoff for the Packers. Hentrick with a high floater that is going to be taken by Ingram inside the end zone, 2 yards deep, out to the 10, to the 15, to a hole to the 20, and up the sidelines. Got some running room and pushed out of bounds at the 43 by Craig Hentrick. That's exactly what we were talking about. You didn't want to have happen, and that took 6 seconds.
The Bear Wedge does something I haven't seen in years. They clasp hands. They hold hands together and stick together, and that time it worked very well.
I thought that was illegal.
I guess they did it.
Well, they're out to the 43-yard line, whether it is or not.
Good way to get a broken arm, though.
Nice play.
You better let go at the right time.
Hentrick did a nice play. Now, no timeouts left for David Craig, but he's got 29 seconds, and he's going to have to get it down to about the 30-yard line to have a decent chance at a field goal.
I hate to say this because it'll probably be wrong, but I mean, the Bears got to hope on throwing short and running long. I don't think Craig is the type of guy that can put it up over the top, throw a Hail Mary into the end zone from
First down at the 43. Well, how about picking one off and returning it then? Here's David Craig on the first down play. David goes straight back in the pocket. Here comes Reggie pushing him right to him. He goes to the sideline. Intercept. Picked off by Doug Evans. Evans is at midfield and out of bounds. Doug Evans on the pickoff with 20 seconds to go. And another pick and save pickoff by the Green Bay Packers.
Caused by Reggie White. He got the pressure, and I believe he hit the ball as well, but he just stoned Big Cat Williams right back into Dave Craig's lap.
And not only that, but Doug Evans was just standing out there in the flat, just waiting for the ball to come to him.
I was going to credit you, Jim. You're the one who suggested it, and it no sooner said than done.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's all right. Yeah, I think he hit his arm. I think you're right. He was certainly in on him when he threw it. Now, you need one quick play. You've got a timeout, so you can actually, Max, if you want to, take it over the middle. You don't have to go to the sidelines.
20 seconds? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got a chance to throw anything.
And we got a quarterback that can put it in the end zone from here.
I know.
Matter of fact, he could put out in Lake Michigan from here.
Well, they had a little delay there because somebody came in late. It's Keith Jackson. Jackson finally gets out there, and he'll line up to the left side for the Packers. 3 wide receivers, and Keith Jackson. Derek Mays, by the way, is active today, not in the ball game. Here's Brett Favre. Now he has to dance around, throws the ball upfield, and throws it away. Good play by Brett, and that took only 5 seconds. So he got rid of the ball.
Gary Brown's man kind of beat him to the outside and put quick pressure on Brett. Didn't give him a chance to get set.
So it is going to be 2nd down and 10 at midfield for the Green Bay Packers. We have a 14-3 lead for the Packers here just before half. And today's game brought to you by Super America, proud sponsors of the Super America Kickoff Contest, where you can win $6,200. Beebe and Chimura go out, and Dorsey Levens comes in for the Packers. And Freeman will split right, Brooks to the left, and out wide left is Edgar Bennett, with Dorsey Levens as the single running back for the Packers on 2nd down. Here's Favre, a pump fake. Now Brett steps up, fires over the middle, incomplete, intended it for Robert Brooks, and he was defended there and rather nicely by the Bears. And let me see who that was that covered on the play. I believe it was Mark Carrier. And Brett was trying to finesse that ball over the middle. That was a little dangerous pass.
Yeah, I think it's time for old Mary to come in here. You know, Hail Mary?
Well, let's see. It's only 3rd down, so let's try a quick 20-yard down and out pattern, which would get you into field goal range. All right with you?
That sounds good. Packers are having Gary Brown right now, left tackle. He's working against Brian Cox. The Bears putting him at right defensive end and stand-up position.
Right. Again, are they giving him any help? They didn't do that the last game. Here's Brett again. Now he had some help that time, but Brett breaks out of the pocket and runs off to the right.
Here's the Hail Mary.
The Hail Mary towards the end zone, and Beebe trying to get in position. Who caught
Freeman?
It is a touchdown. The Packers caught the ball. Antonio Freeman came down with it in the end zone for the Green Bay Packers on the Hail Mary, and a quick strike by Green Bay.
Who can throw it better than Brett Favre? He threw it a mile high and a mile long, and Freeman at the other end of it. What a play.
On the run.
On the run.
It was, I mean, it just, it leaves you with your mouth open. You can't believe what the guy can do.
I couldn't believe I couldn't believe they caught it, but if you watch Freeman, here he comes on the replay.
Oh, he just went up and took the ball away from him. He had his his eyes on the ball from the very beginning for the touchdown.
And he had his arm on Mark Carrier.
There's flags all over the infield here. I mean, all over the end zone.
We'll find out from Johnny Greer what that is. We have no timeout left in the first half. That was the last play of the first half. That might be a little demoralizing for the Bears.
Oh, that has to be, Jim.
Roughing the passer, number 90, defense.
Personal foul.
That penalty will not carry over. We have unsportsmanlike conduct, number 52, on the defense. Again, that penalty will not carry over.
Well, you know what's interesting? They do two things. They rough the passer, they have unsportsmanlike contact, and because the half is ended, they don't carry over to the second half of the ball game, since the Bears will receive, and they get away with 2 free shots. Yeah, I don't like that rule at all.
No, but I'll tell you what.
You're still shaking.
Amazing.
You're shaking. Here's the kick by Chris Jackie. That kick is no good. He missed it. He missed the kick, and it is a 20-3 ball game at the half with the Packers out in front. They went 50 yards in 3 plays. And the touchdown is 50 yards. 50 yards to Antonio Freeman for the touchdown. We'll get a timeout, come back with our halftime after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Yeah, I want to report a conspiracy.
Go ahead.
Not on the phone. It's probably tapped.
It's safe, I promise.
Yeah, well, my beer is covering something up.
Go on.
You notice that both of these teams today came out with about a minute left. And if you're going to warm your harp up and get ready to go, they don't seem to get ready to go.
You make a very valid point, Jim. You spend an hour before the game warming up. At halftime, you may spend 2 minutes. It's an individual thing.
Well, it's time now for the Bud Packer payoff contestant here in the third quarter, Don Fabian from Menominee. You remember Fabian, Menominee, Michigan. Here is the kickoff by Hendrick. And this is a line drive that Bobby Ingram drops. And a ball picked up at the 10-yard line by Chicago. And they're looking for someplace to run with, and they get back to the 22-yard line. Ingram just dropped the ball, and the nearest man to him picked it up and brought it upfield. I think that's the fullback, Mike Falkerson, who brought it up to about the 22-yard line. We've got a Bear player getting up very slowly on the far side of the field. Don Fabian, you've already won a 48-quart Budweiser cooler, and if the Packers score from at least 62 yards away in a single play, you have to call 414-799-1620 within 6 minutes and 20 seconds in order to win $620. The Bears get the ball at the 22-yard line. That was a possible disaster play for them to start right there.
Oh, it really was. That's a tough one to catch, though, when they don't get 3 feet off the ground and it goes 60 yards.
It may be a disaster for him regardless, because this is Chris Lavario down on the field. He is subbing for Todd Berger in their offensive line, so they're going to be down to next to no offensive lineman.
The word earlier today was that Berger was able to play. I don't know whether they scratched him or not. I don't think they did. So he would be, was able to play a few plays maybe, but although for what's his name? Valario was going to start in the ballgame. Well, day in and day out, at home or away from home, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down. So make it a Bud Light. Now, in the same instance where you're looking for a little momentum and everything else when the second half gets started, every time you get an injury like this, it takes just forever to get it done, and it slows everybody down for a little bit.
Well, it does, and I tell you, if they could put the clamps on David Craig this early in this quarter, I think the Packers would be in great shape.
All right, leading 20-3. They finally got the scoreboards right. They're up there at 20-3 on both ends. That fellow will be helped off to the sideline. And
Berger has come in to replace him at right guard.
Yeah, they said he could play a little bit today. So there's Berger out there, ready to do some work for the Chicago Bears. The Bears with a first down at their own 22-yard line. Salam really struggled in the first half. 13 carries, 18 yards. I don't think you would want to go away from the running game, but they may not lean on it very heavily.
Tell you what, the Bears are not a good catch-up football team.
Here is David Craig on the handoff to Salam, slid through a hole and goes forward to about the 27-yard line. Now, he's been trying to do that all day. He really is a slithering type of runner, and he gets his legs forward and his body leaning forward, and he slid through that hole for about 5 yards.
Well, he did get off to a good start there, good blocking, and but he lunged for the last 4 yards.
Yeah, he was just kind of sliding forward. Second down, and 5 yards to go at the 27 for the Bears under David Craig. Here's the handoff to Salam, a big hole on the right side to about the 31-yard line, short of the first down by about a yard, and a flag thrown on the play as well.
Could be a face mask. What else could it be?
Well, from that distance, he's got good eyesight if he saw a face mask. Reggie White down at the bottom of the pile with the tackle for the Packers. But again, we're going to wait and see what it is. It is face mask against the Packers. On George Koontz, it'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll move it out to the 36-yard line. And a first down. There haven't been many penalties against the Packers so far today. That's 2 penalties for Green Bay today. Remember, they had one in the early going of the ball game. Where did George do it? I guess he did it. First down at the 36, Chicago. Got a wing on the right side. Here's Craig back to throw. Craig fires it out to the side. Oh, what a catch. At the 45. That ball was nearly picked off by Koontz, but instead it gets to the receiver, Conway, at about the 45-yard line.
And this is the way the Bears got to play catch-up. Run the football, play action, so forth, short, controlled passing game, because they don't have home run capability.
Second down and a yard to go for the Bears at the 45-yard line, and they're moving the ball on this series. And it is very short yardage on the second down. Let's see if Craig wants to throw on and try to get some quick yardage. Here's Craig waiting for the snap. Now he's going to give it to Salam, and he's gotten close to the first down. I think he got it at about the 47-yard line. Rashaan Salam with the first down. 20-3 in case you're just joining us, in favor of the Packers over the Chicago Bears.
Santana just getting a piece of them coming from the backside. Salam still gets the first.
That first half, they had 77 yards rushing. Or passing, rather, 71 yards passing and about 30 yards in rushing. So they had less than 100 total yards, didn't they, in the first half? for the Chicago Bears. And that was most of that in one drive. First down for the Bears at the 47-yard line. Here is Craig. Craig on the handoff to Salam again, gets through and is wrestling to about midfield. He gets a gain of 3. It looked like he was going to be submerged and knocked down about the line of scrimmage, but he leaped over somebody.
Todd Berger pulled to trap Sean Jones. Sean Jones placed the trap block beautifully. He did all of it right, but didn't make the play. Salam picks up some yardage.
Well, they're going to give him actually 4 down to the Packer 49-yard line. Second down and 6 yards to go for the first down for Chicago. Splitting off to the left side is Michael Timpson. And to the right side is Curtis Conway. Conway is a good football player. Got to be careful with him. Second down with 6 yards to go for David Craig. And a play-action fake. Here they come after him. He wants to go long downfield, and Timpson wide open. Got away from Doug Evans and has a first down at the 24.5-yard line. And again, Evans gave him a lot of cushion, and Timpson had about a 5-yard spread on him.
Yeah, you don't understand a play like that, Jim. That was not even a square. It was more like a corner, which is a very easy
a long developing play, wasn't it?
To cover, and there was nobody there. Somebody got confused.
Packers blitz Wayne Simmons on the play, and whenever you blitz, always puts more emphasis on being able to cover man-to-man, which Doug Evans did not do on that play.
The Bears on a good opening drive have the ball down at the 25-yard line, a handoff straight ahead, and driving for about 2 yards, maybe 3, is Salam on a quick hitter. And Gilbert Brown very slow, rolling over and trying to get back up. George Kuntz on the tackle for the Packers down at the 22.5-yard line. Second down, Chicago.
Max, what do you think? Early on, it seems like the Packers are making a lot of contact at or near the line of scrimmage, but not getting the guy down. They're getting outworked after the point of contact.
Well, they just kind of got a little letdown that they got a, boy, you don't want to have it here.
Second down for David Craig, who rolls to the right, wants to throw on the run, comes to the right sideline, stops now loops one upfield and threw it out of bounds. He had no place to go with it. That play just didn't work well for him, and there was nobody open on the sidelines, and so he threw it out of bounds down this right sidelines, which he can do once he escapes the pocket. He can throw it anywhere that he wants to, basically, once he gets out of that pocket, and he just threw it out of bounds down this right sidelines. But it is third down and about 8 yards to go for the Bears for the first down.
On that occasion, a fine job of coverage by Doug Evans. That's why Dave Craig had nowhere to go.
A 20-3 ball game. To the left side goes Conway, and they split a man off to the right, Timpson, and Bobby Ingram is a slot on the right for Chicago. Third down and 8 for David Craig. Need to get to him. Haven't knocked him down yet today. Here's David. Short drop. Quick out pattern was there. He overshot his intended receiver. I'm not sure Conway ever picked it up, Max, because when he was there, he might have made a leaping catch. Apparently, either his feet weren't under him to leap on the left side, or he never picked up the ball.
Yeah, plus a bad pass. I don't think Wilt Chamberlain could have caught that one.
So Jaeger will try the field goal from 41 yards.
Doug Evans blitzing on the play. Might have been a factor in the fourth throw.
Sauerbrunn will hold for Chicago. 20-3 ball game. The Bears have moved the football here to start. Second half, here's the kick by Jaeger. And the kick is going to be good, they say. It is a 20-6 ball game. Timeout on the field. Back after this word from your local station. This is the Packer Radio Network. Momentum from that, but they certainly didn't get discouraged by what happened on that field goal drive.
Well, anytime you get any score on your first drive, second half, not a bad deal. The Packers would likewise would be nice if they did.
Jaeger will kick it off to the Green Bay Packers. Here's the approach by Jaeger, and the kick is a high floater that is going to be taken by Beebe somewhere around the 10. He's going to the right. The blocking formed for him. He's through to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, outside to the left, midfield, 45, 40. I think he's gone. To the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown for Don Beebe. The kick was short. They set the blockers to the right, close to him. He got behind him, got through the initial run, and he was gone.
That's a little quicker than I thought we'd get it, Jim. But what a way to open up the second half. All the way up 90-something yards.
Keith McKenzie and Lamont Hollandquist getting them started with fine blocks.
Well, I hope Don Fabian from Menominee, Michigan is listening. He's got a chance to win $620 right now as the Packers have taken this ball and run it on the kickoff. The special teams provide a touchdown, and that might demoralize the Bears just a little bit. And the try for the extra point by Chris Jackie. Waiting, and Hendrick will hold. The ball is down. The kick is on the way. The kick is up and good. 21-7, 21-6 rather, in favor of the Packers. Timeout. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Last year, over 1.5 million.
Midwest Express Airlines wants to take this opportunity to salute W.H. Brady, their partner in travel. Midwest Express Airlines, the best care in the air, the official airline of the Green Bay Packer Radio Network.
I tell you, McKenzie was a key there. He came right off of McKenzie's block, which wasn't much of a block. It was just a screen, but you see it right there.
Opened the hole, and then they were gone after that. The ball blows off the tee, and Craig Hendrick will have to reset it. And Beebe, once he gets that angle, you just might as well say goodbye because you're not going to catch him. Burton was chasing him. Also chasing him on that play for Chicago was Marlon Forbes, not Malcolm Forbes. That's a different guy, isn't it?
I know Malcolm.
Yeah, do you? Well, you knew him.
Yeah.
Here's the kickoff. And it is a high floater that Bobby Ingram is going to take at the 2-yard line. Comes back up the middle to the 10. Watch out.
Whoa.
Somebody already got creamed. And Ingram is into the secondary and out to about the 33-yard line. Packers had a man break through. Is that your Dowdeen?
Corey Dowdin, yeah. He has no fear. I mean, it's much to the detriment of his personal health, though, but the kid is fearless.
Well, he missed. He wasn't able to get to him, and Ingram returns it to the 34, so the Bears will have a first down at the 34-yard line. I gave you the wrong score when we went out for the commercial break. It's 27-6 in favor of the Green Bay Packers in this ball game, a 3-touchdown margin right at the moment. And the Bears take over at the 34-yard line. One thing you want to be careful of now with still 10:49 to go in the third quarter, don't let them get anything quick and easy on you, as the Packers just got one quick and easy. In fact, they've had 2 quick and easy today. Craig's going to throw on first down. They break down on him. He pitches it right over the middle, and a flag from long range, and the catch is made at about the 36-yard line by the running back, Rashawn Salam, and the gain of 4 or 5 yards on the play, but the flag is down. One of the Packers, Leroy Butler, is applauding, so I think he likes it.
It's against the Bears. Interference.
Offensive pass interference on a screen? Or was that a screen? I don't know whether
it wasn't a screen. It was just a little
badly run play. Yeah. The penalty is on Bobby Neely, the rookie tight end, who was picked up as a free agent.
Yeah, he pushed off to get open there, and they saw it.
Well, they move it back from the 34 to the 24-yard line.
Bears are in deep trouble here. I mean, playing catch-up is not their game. They got to keep it close and hope to win it at the end.
Well, let's hope they don't do that.
They're not going to.
10.5 minutes. They're not going to get it. No, that's a different show. All right, it's going to be first down and 20 for the Bears. Craig was going to go to the air right away on that first series. Let's see what he does here now. And David, again, with a quick short pattern to Curtis Conway, tried to step inside a defender at the 30, but Newsom said, nah, I'll give you 7 or 8, but I'm not going to give you any more than that. He got help from Wayne Simmons on the play, and they knock him down at about the 30-yard line, a gain of 6. Now they're going to say 7 to the 31-yard line.
You know, a good cornerback, Jim. He'll let you have a few of those, but somewhere along the line, he has to take a gamble and get up there and step in there and try to intercept one, and that's what a good cornerback
Well,
would
you know
do.
what Adderley would do early in a game, and I always consider him the epitome of cornerbacks. He would let you catch one and then punish you, and then it was a little hard to catch him after that. Second down for Craig, who gives it off to Salam, cuts through a hole and dives to about the 36-yard line. And a gain of 3. It'll be third down and about 8 yards to go. But that's what Adderley would do. He'd let you catch one on the corner, and then he'd have you measured, and he would drill you, and pretty soon he would pick one off, too. So the ball is at the 36-yard line. You know, as this team gets better that the Packers have, I think it's more deserving of being compared with the teams of the 60s.
No doubt about that. I'll tell you, they got some kind of football team. I don't see many weaknesses in this team.
3rd and 8, 9:18 to go here in the third quarter, 27-6 the Packers. Like to stop them right here and get the football back for Green Bay, but Craig's been good on third downs today. He's calling the signal at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have anybody in the backfield, so I think it's a passing play, folks. Here's Craig straight back in the pocket. Here comes Reggie. And he threw it short. He had a man open, and Ingram might have gotten the first down, but Ingram dropped the ball at the 41. I think he threw it a little quicker than he wanted to because Reggie was bearing in on his right side.
Reggie's having a good day against James Williams. That time the Packers had 3 defensive linemen in the game, but to get a 4-man rush, they also blitzed Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons supplying pressure on the other side.
Can you imagine Reggie leaning on Big Cat Williams, who is 6'7", 340 pounds, and his 6th year out of Cheney State? That's a lot of weight leaning against each other.
I'll tell you, Craig hit him right in the hands. There's no reason he shouldn't have caught that ball.
Here is the kick by Sauerbrunn.
Oh, run back.
Low line drive to Desmond Howard at the 15-yard line. Desmond comes straight up the field at the 20, veers to the outside to the 25, and is dumped as he tries to make a cut at about the 27 or 8-yard line. So the Packers get the ball back, leading in the ball game 27-6. And we have a timeout on the field back after Packers coverage that scores every time. Don't miss sports commentary by Journal Sentinel sports writers Bob McGinn and Tom Silverstein. The Packers get the ball at the 27-yard line with a first down. Packers came in averaging 33 points a game and giving up 13. They're at 27-6 right at the moment. First down. Here's a play-action fake by Brett Favre. Looks, dances around. Now he's going to run with the ball. And he's going to the sidelines, being chased from behind, and goes out of bounds. Hit a little late, but he's out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Not a hit that could hurt, possibly. Being chased down on the play and pushed out of bounds by John Theory from Alcorn State, 6'4", 265. 14-0 Minnesota over Carolina in the third quarter, and Detroit led 28-7 at halftime over Atlanta. Those are the teams we're most concerned about. Minnesota and the Packers tied for first place in the Central Division.
Brett was looking for Keith Jackson, but Jackson was very well covered downfield.
Second down and about 9 yards to go for the Packers. I formation, receivers left and right. Now they split into a pro set, the two running backs side by side. Here's Brett on a handoff upfield to William Henderson. Nothing develops there. He tried to slide off to the right side, couldn't do so, and he goes down after a gain of about a yard. And it becomes third down and 8 yards to go for the Green Bay Packers.
Joe Kane, was playing kind of an inside linebacker, recognized it right away, shot the gap. Aaron Taylor couldn't get him, and consequently, we have a lousy-looking running play.
27-6, the Packers. What you'd like to do is get a couple of first downs every time you have the football. That runs off 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, and the clock is your ally when you're up by 3 touchdowns.
Somewhat peculiar call, those second and 10s, running at fullback who runs once a month.
Brooks and Beebe to the left. In the right side, it's Freeman along with Desmond Howard for the Packers. In motion goes Brooks to the right side. 3 receivers over there now. And Brett rolls to the right. Wanted to throw a screen back to the left. Now he's on the run. Now he pumps.
He'll get a first down.
First down, and he does. Brett Favre to the 40-yard line, 41-yard line, and a first down. He went up the right sidelines. Originally, the play, Larry, appeared to be a screen to the left.
You're absolutely right. But Brett, he's not only playing well today, he's playing in very entertaining fashion. He's showing these Chicago folks what it's all about.
Ball is to the 41-yard line and a first down for the Packers, even though he ran out of bounds. Now they start the ball in play after the ball is marked in play. That's to speed up things a little bit in pro football. Not doing a bad job of that today. First down for the Packers at the 41. Freeman goes right, Brooks goes left. I formation for the Packers. Now they split into the two-man backfield, and here is the play up the middle to William Henderson for a quick 4 yards out to about the 45-yard line. They say it's Edgar Bennett who is the ball carrier, and let's see, it is Edgar who gets up from the bottom of the pile. Edgar Bennett on a gain for the Packers. That's 9 carries for about 24 yards for Edgar Bennett.
You gain 4 yards against the Bears running inside, you've earned it, because the Bears line up all 3 linebackers a lot of times in the box, in between the tackles. A lot of folks to get accounted for.
It'll be second down, 6 yards to go for the first down for the Packers from their own 45-yard line. Shimura steps into the backfield now and comes in motion to the near side of the field. Brett on a quick drop comes to the pattern and is caught by Freeman. First down at the 47-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Freeman with just a quick down and out. Perfect timing on the play, Max, to get it to Antonio Freeman.
I'll tell you, it's just amazing with that kind of accuracy and that kind of receivers that you'd think you could never stop this team.
Well, nobody has really very much.
Max, that particular play is unstoppable if thrown well, and the route is run well, isn't that?
It is, unless the guy guesses, and then if he guesses, pretty soon you get him beat deep.
First down at the 47-yard line, 5:50 to go here in the third quarter with the Packers in the lead. Receivers left and right on this first down play. And here's Brett Favre, and the handoff goes to Bennett trying to find the corner. Does, gets through to about the 43, almost broke loose. One of the linebackers got a hand on him, and that is number 52, Brian Cox, who got a hand on him and tripped him up at about the 43, so it's a gain of 4 yards on the play. This game brought to you by DirecTV. For the most NFL action available anywhere, got to be DirecTV, satellite TV at its very best. Ball resting at the 43, second down, and let's call it 7 yards to go, gain of 3 by Edgar on that play.
Packers kind of methodically pounding a stake into the heart of the Chicago Bears right now.
Double tight end offense here, and they're lined up right next to each other.
It's going to be a second down and 7. In motion, Brooks to the outside on the right. Favre, quick drop, looks, quick pattern over the middle. It's caught by Chimera. Chimera battling. No, that's Keith Jackson. Beg your pardon, to a first down at the 35-yard line. Again, Brian Cox in on the tackle with Vincent Smith. But a first down for the Packers and a picture-perfect drive by Green Bay on this series.
Is the word dissect when you just kind of chop people up? That's exactly what this offense did. That's the best drive they could get. They're going to have a 5 or 6 minute drive that they could culminate in a touchdown that would run a lot of clock
Max,
off.
I think it's already taken about 5 minutes on it already. So it is a first down at the 35-yard line. Henderson and Bennett in the backfield for the Packers. Brett Favre changing the play at the line of scrimmage, and they split a little wider on the right for Freeman. On the first down play, here's Favre on a pump. Rolls to the right now, a pump and go for Antonio Freeman. Did he catch it? Touchdown! I can't believe it. What a play by Antonio Freeman, diving over the back of the defender and bringing the ball down for his second touchdown of the day and 5th of the year.
And that was exactly like the Hail Mary, except it wasn't, Jim. But what a catch by Freeman. It's 2 he's caught with a guy right in his face.
Kevin Minifield on the coverage. Great coverage, but you can't beat a fantastic throw and just a superhuman effort at the goal line.
Well, as Mike Holmgren said to Freeman, I know you're going to be good, so I'm going to be on you. And he's good right there. Look at this catch. Look at him just reaching over to make a great catch for Antonio Freeman. I'm not sure how far it was, about 30 yards, somewhere in that range. We'll get the exact distance for you. 35 yards. Here's the kick, and it is up and good. And the Packers take the lead now, 34-6, and a timeout on the field. Back after this word from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
He is running so far ahead of even Marino's all-time record of 50-something touchdowns. He's weeks ahead of that.
34-6, the Packers. Here's Craig Hemsick in the kickoff. And this one is going to Bobby Ingram about a yard deep. He's going to come out of there to the 5, up the field to the 10, to the 15. Little hole there, and he's returning it nicely out to about the 26-yard line before it closes in on him, and they'll take over at the 26. Well, this game's action brought to you by Kelly Tires and Pomps Tire Service, where you always get a good deal on a great tire, Kelly Tires. Ball will be put down at the 26. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Packer Radio Network.
Fantastic sports station. WTMJ is definitely the sports leader in this town.
News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
So the Chicago Bears take over at the 26-yard line. 34-6 Packers. Man in motion to the right is Salam for David Craig on the first down play, and he throws a quick out pattern out here. It is caught by Tony Carter, and he's down at the 30-yard line after a gain of 4, ridden out on the play by Leroy Butler. Now you become very predictable if you're the Chicago Bears, if you're going to try to win the ball game and you're down 34-6.
Well, I don't think the way they run their offense and the folks they have, they could possibly win it. They can't do it. I mean, you're not going to.
And the way they run their offense, can they be predictable?
You can do that for the rest of the game every down, and they don't have enough time.
Yeah, they don't have the striking. You've got to have striking power, and I don't see it.
And that's where Eric Kramer would come in on a good day. This ball's over the middle and is caught at the 35-yard line by the Chicago Bears, and immediately hit by Doug Evans and George Kuntz is Curtis Conway, the receiver for Chicago, at about the 35, but he's short of the first down. Well, not by much, by about a quarter of an inch or so.
I mean, this is great for a quarterback's completion percentage, but it's not going to do much for the final outcome.
3:08 remaining in the ball game's third quarter for the Packers, who lead 34-6, trying to stay at least in a tie with Minnesota for the Central Division lead. David Craig on a quarterback sneak gets the first down to about the 37-yard line. So the Bears will maintain possession of the football.
Tell you what, as an offensive lineman, this is not a fun time if you're a Chicago Bear. Reggie, Santana, Gilbert, Sean, all cranking back, knowing you're going to pass darn near every down.
Well, what you'd like to have is a comfortable enough lead that you can get guys like Derek Mays into the ball game and let him get a few snaps under his belt in the contest, and maybe Travis Jervey and some of those other guys. But I'm not saying the game's over. I don't mean that by any means.
It is, Jim.
You'd like to get yourself in a position to do that.
It is.
Here is the first down play by Craig. Back to throw. Here comes Butler on the blitz. They had him picked up, and the ball's thrown nicely out to the 49-yard line. And a catch out there by Timpson. Yeah, Michael Timpson in front of Doug Evans caught the ball. I mean, Evans has given Timpson a lot of room out there, and that's for 12 yards. Butler was blitzing from the left, Larry, but he never got in. He was picked up.
No, and when you blitz, you take somebody out of the coverage, obviously, and puts the pressure on the guys downfield.
Craig threw that falling down with nothing on it. A good cornerback would have stepped in front of that one and scored a little touchdown.
Here is Craig on the draw play. Gives it to Salam, trying to slide outside, and he doesn't get anything. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe to the 50-yard line, and that's about all. Santana Dotson gets up. So does George Kuntz from the bottom of the pile.
Well, that side of the Packer defensive line playing the run well. Santana, Sean Jones, George Kuntz pursuing.
Today's Packer broadcast proudly sponsored by your local Train heating and cooling dealer. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. So it becomes second down at about 8 yards to go. The clock running at 1:25 remaining in the third quarter. Craig with a second down play. And this time Brian Williams gets up to the line of scrimmage. Then he backs off. And now he still acts as if he wants to come. And he is going to try to blitz. They come to the right side. It is caught, but immediately drilled to the turf by Leroy Butler is Tony Carter, the fullback. Leroy had that one played out right. Williams trying to blitz, never did time anything very well, and never got in there. And Craig, by the way, had gotten rid of the ball anyway. Third down, and still 8 yards to go.
Interesting little chess game that time. Craig reads the blitz, throws where Brian Williams came from, but Leroy Butler read that and made the play.
And Butler has played extremely well all season long. He and Sean Jones have been defensive leaders for the Packers. Reggie, just by coming out, is the leader. We don't have to do anything.
That Reggie puts so much pressure on that pocket, though, that just makes it easy for everybody.
It is a second down play, and back goes Craig to throw, and they come at him again. He fires to the sidelines. Nicely thrown, picked up by Curtis Conway, who came back to the ball, and he'll be drilled at the 35-yard line, but he's got a first down. Good play by Conway, who circled back to the ball and gets the first down. And Craig, with the blitz coming, he really has a good slingshot arm, Max, that gets that ball out there and in good position. He's down to the 35, but he's going to run out of time here in the third quarter before he can get another play. That's the end of 3, and we'll take a break and be back after this. This is the Packer Radio Network.
You know, people are always talking about clogged fuel injectors. Here's your chance to see how it can affect a car's performance. Come on.
Gilbert Brown.
So it is going to be a first down for the Bears at the Packer 35-yard line. Target is a proud sponsor of the Packers Radio Network. Be sure to drop off your film at Target's Photo Center for Kodak Premium Processing. Back the next day, or they're free 7 days a week. Target, expect more but pay less. First down for David Craig at the Packer 35-yard line. Craig looks over the Packer defense, takes a long count, goes straight back in the pocket, looks, pumps, now wants to go to the end zone. Packer defensive man, Craig Newsom, beautifully playing the ball down the sidelines, intended for Curtis Conway, and Newsom never got out of range of him at all.
That's the best I've seen him cover that particular kind of play, Jim. Really perfect position, turned his head, picked up the ball, just played it perfect.
Yeah, they ran the hitch and go that time, didn't buy the pump fake whatsoever. Nice coverage, Craig Newsom.
I call it a pump and go. The quarterback pumps and allows the man to take a break and go. The runner takes a little hitch about 10 yards down, then streaks up the field. That's the hitch pattern.
Let me tell you,
terminology.
Let me tell you one secret about the hitch and go. When you're down 34-6, forget it.
It ain't going to work, is it? Second down and 10. Oh, the Packers may have jumped offside. No, they didn't. The ball comes up. Intercepted and picked off. Packers have taken another one away from the Bears.
George Kuntz
with the interception. And we'll take a quick break on this, the Packer Radio Network.
Okay, group, okay. Now, in our last few sessions, we've managed to cover a lot of ground. Excuse the football metaphor there. Huh? We've talked about our fears of airline seats and of making connections in big, scary airports. Now, let's talk about a very sensitive topic, airline food.
But here after the game, News Radio 620 WTMJ, your news and sports information station.
Well, that's already the third interception this season for George Kuntz, and that's another pick and save Packers pickoff play, another $100 contribution to the MAC Fund from Pick and Save. All right, we go to a first down for the Packers at the 37-yard. That ball was just thrown right in the middle of the pack, and George, I think, was the primary receiver on the play.
Talked to him last week. He said his ability to play the outside has helped him with his pass coverage inside.
Dorsey Levens on a straight-ahead drive for a couple of yards out to about the 39-yard line. This game's action brought to you today by your Polaris Snowmobile, ATV, and personal watercraft dealers. For outdoor fun before and after the snow, see your Polaris dealer. I didn't want to say snow on a nice day like today. It's turning out to be even nicer than I thought.
Boy, don't talk
34
about snow yet. You know, Minnesota, Carolina scored again. I mean, once there. It's 14-7. Carolina's still in that game.
Come on, Carolina. We'd like to see the Packers out in front in the division all alone. Second down and 7 yards to go for Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Receivers left and right. Here's Brett, play action. Fake comes to the sideline. Brooks wide open at the 45-yard line. Does a little juke move, and I think he got a first down out to about the 47 or 48-yard line. Boy, Brett Favre is hot. He is 17 out of 25 now. He's missed 8 passes, and I think he was 0 for 3 in the first 3, so he hasn't missed very many at all. By the way, Steve Stenstrom is warming up on the sidelines for the Bears.
Kevin Minifield, you just can't give Robert Brooks and Brett Favre a cushion like he just did. They're missing Walt Harris on the corner. I mean, they got both backup corners in now. I mean, you can't give a guy a cushion like that.
First down at the 48-yard line for the Packers in their own territory, leading 34-6 here in the fourth quarter. Split the two running backs. That's Henderson and Bennett. Bennett comes to the outside. Gets a little block. Didn't quite get it totally clear for him, but he's across the 50 down to about the 49-yard line. That was Aaron Taylor who threw a little block and gave him a little room. But we have a Bear player who is down.
No, that's a Packer player.
Well, there are two of them. There's a Bear and a Packer player, both down at the moment. Let's take a quick break while we have the opportunity. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Yeah, I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Excuse me?
I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Okay, how did this happen?
Well, I just brought home a six-pack.
Import, domestic?
Import. And I just opened my first one when I took a big whiff, and that's when I tripped over the coffee table.
Oh, so the beer was skunked.
I guess it was, yeah.
Okay, can you tell me how old the beer is?
I don't know. I've told you I've fallen and I can't reach it.
Sir, we can get through this. I'm sending some Budweiser out right away.
Bud?
That's right. We'll have a born-on date on the label. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
That will tell you when the beer was bottled so you know it's fresh. Do you understand me?
I understand.
Now, I want you to drink that Bud, and I want you to enjoy it. Can you do that for me?
Sure, I can do that.
Good. Now, I'm getting off the line now. You hold tight.
Weeks to decide what to do with Kenny.
The ball game next week is a Monday night game, by the way. It's against... I hadn't even thought about bringing it up because this is the important game of the moment, the Bears today, but it's against a team from out in California called the 49ers in Green Bay.
Boy,
I like them playing at our place.
They got revenge all over them, too, after the Packers knocked them out of the playoffs last year.
Second down, about 7 yards to go for the Packers at the 48-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Here's Brett Favre on a quick play. They dump it off to the left side. Got plenty of blocking out there for Don Beebe, but Beebe can't quite clear all of it. He's going to be brought down at about the 42-yard line. Brett Favre had two people on him. He waited as long as he could for everything to develop. Then he had to get rid of him, Max, and I think he got pushed backwards anyway because of all of that.
Screen to a wide receiver that time. If everybody did the job Aaron Taylor did on that play, we would still be looking at Don Beebe running, but he was the only guy that really did well out there.
Well, it's okay because he's got a first down at the 42-yard line, and that'll keep the clock running, and that's what you want to have happen right at this moment. Well, Dean Foods have been providing Packer fans with quality dairy and ice cream products for over 70 years. Dean's Milk and Ice Cream, you can taste how much we care. All right, the ball at the 42-yard line with a first down for the Packers in Bear territory. Brett on the handoff to Edgar Bennett, tried to slide back to his right. Look, Earl Dotson just kept pushing people down, and Edgar Bennett kept going forward, and he gets about 3 yards off the play. They didn't have much there, but Dotson and his counterparts were just trying to clear a little path for him to go upfield. You like that?
No, Frankie Winters came up limping just a hair.
You don't want to lose Frankie. Frankie's such an integral part of this football team. Going to be second down.
Frankie was searching and destroying downfield a couple plays ago and ran into Don Beebe of all people, and he's been limping ever since.
Got to be second down. But you know what, they expect centers to get up and go play, don't they?
You better. Better answer that bell. They'll find somebody who can.
Here is Brett Favre. He's changing the play with a hand collect. Second down. Brett, short drop, look, and pumps, lost the ball, has to dive for it and saves it back at the 48. They're going to say it's a forward pass. Look at that. Oh, look at Byron Cox. He's right in the face of Johnny Greer. Throw a flag on him, Johnny. Get him out of your face. You can't let him do that.
Brett was trying to hold the ball, actually make a pump fake, and it came out of his hand, and he's going to get away with it.
Well, Greer didn't hesitate on the call. See, it was a pass. He brought it forward, and it came out of his hand. And Greer didn't hesitate on the call one instant. You give the official credit for that. He made a quick and decisive call on the play.
Ryan Cox and Joe Kane blitzing on the thing. They picked up Cox but couldn't get Kane picked up.
Third down and 8 yards to go. The clock's still running. Well, no, it's not running. 11:23. It was an incomplete forward pass. What do we get here? A timeout. The Packers are going to take a break. We'll take a break and be back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio. Lawn and Garden Tractor and Equipment, and where you can register to win a Packer Backer tractor. Ball is at the 40-yard line. Third down and 8 yards to go for the Packers. You just want to run out the clock. You're not interested in scoring a whole lot of any more points. You want to win the game.
I think they might be interested in that.
Well, I'm not. Are you interested?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You never know what the over-under is.
Third down and 8.
I got a feeling you do, though, Max.
Third down and 8 for the Packers. Brett Favre at the line of scrimmage. Waits. and goes straight back in the pocket. Here comes a blitzer on the left. He's going to go long down the middle.
He's wide open.
Oh, there was a flag. He was caught and held at about the 15-yard line. And a good interference by the defenders, by the Bears, because if they don't interfere, that's a touchdown to Robert Brooks.
Yeah, they're going to they may call it holding, unfortunately, which would only be a 5-yard penalty.
Tell you what, before they let off Kevin Minifield, who was playing cornerback for the Bears because Walt Harris was hurt. Well, now Harris is back on the field. He's got a bad toe, and obviously he can't stay with Robert Brooks.
Well, Brooks, if he's not held, and he's almost tackled at about the 15-yard line, if he's not held, he's going to get through and get out in front and catch that ball for a 5th touchdown pass of the day for Brett. So Brett gets it down to the 11th.
Jim, are you still interested in them not
I'm more
scoring?
interested in scoring now than I was a couple of minutes ago.
Peaked.
11-16 left in the ball game. First down at the 11-yard line of the Bears for the Packers. Here's Brett Favre and a handoff as they go back the other way to Edgar Bennett. And Bennett only gets back to about the 12. Didn't get there far at all. Nice defensive play by the Bears, and Carl Simpson is the first, I think, to make contact on the play. So it'll be a second down at the 12-yard line.
That looked like an experimental play of which you wouldn't want to try again because there was no blockers where he ran.
You're saying that the experiment failed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can understand that.
It's one of those deals where the offensive line didn't do a good job on the backside. It was Simpson chasing down from the backside.
Second down and 11 at the 12-yard line of the Chicago Bears. Two receivers to the left, and whoops, Aaron Taylor stood up to take a good look, and that'll be 5 yards against the Packers. Well, during the game, every Packer fan knows the best lineup is on the field, but after the game, the best lineup is at McDonald's. With starters like the quarter pounder with cheese and reserves like crispy golden fries, best tasting lineup in the game. By the way, I have my friend here, Arnie Love, from Milwaukee and out in Palm Springs with me. He's here for two reasons. I like him, first of all, and if I bring him here, he lets me play golf at Mission Hills, and I'm treating him to dinner after the game out at McDonald's.
Well,
big time or me?
That is big time. But does he let you beat you in golf?
I don't know. I just whack him every time.
You don't suck up that bad.
I mean, there is a place where you draw the line.
Good to know you have an ounce of pride out there. Good job.
Second down at the 17-yard line and 16 yards to go. And a draw play to Dorsey Levens up the middle. Dorsey to the 10.
Look at Dorsey
to about the 6. Dorsey Levens like a freight train coming through that time down to the 6-yard line.
Nice blocking up the middle by Frankie Winters, the full block. Frankie blocks back on the defensive tackle. Adam Timmerman pulling up for the middle linebacker.
So it becomes third down and 5 yards to go for a first down, 6 yards for a touchdown for the Packers. Vincent Smith comes back in for Chicago. Keith Jackson is in. Beebe and Levens go out. Jackson is joined out there. Let's see, the man who came in late might have been William Henderson.
Jackson's due for a touchdown catch. 1 out of every 2 of his receptions go for touchdowns.
Third down and 5 for the Packers. Chimura steps into the backfield. This might be Chimura's ball.
Yeah.
Here's Brett Favre back to throw, pumping, rolling to the right, wants to throw back to the left, got a man in the end zone.
Jackson.
Touchdown. And a flag on the play. There may have been a pick play here. They're throwing it near Antonio Freeman. Let's see what the officials rule. It went to Jackson, but let's see what the officials are going to rule. And Johnny Greer says interference to Packers. I think they threw it near Antonio Freeman, and there is a Bear player who was knocked down on the play. That's Mark Carrier. So that'll be a penalty against the Packers, and they'll have to do it all over again. And again, Brett, with a chance for a 5th touchdown pass, won't get it today. Well, Jackson almost went too far in the end zone, just barely got his feet in.
I didn't like that call. Freeman did come in and ran into the guy, but really there was just 2 guys going different directions. You know, you can't avoid those guys.
Ball comes back to the 17-yard line. You know, if it weren't 34-6, I'd get much more irate about the thing.
I know you would. That's why I was trying to smooth it over before you got mad.
So the ball will be placed back at the 17-yard line, and it becomes third down.
You know, Max, I agree with you. That was obviously a lot of contact, but I've seen more serious pick offenses on plays that didn't get called.
Well, this didn't even look like a pick. It looked like an accident.
All right, it's going to be third down anyway for the Packers. Here's Brett Favre on the draw play. Dorsey Levens going to try it again. Dorsey's at the 15, trying to get to the outside and turns upfield and gets the 14. Dorsey Levens to the 14-yard line, and here comes the place kicker for the Packers, Chris Jackie, to try for the field goal. Chris has not been absolutely sterling so far this year. He is 6 out of 9 from field goal range, and this will be one of about 31 yards for Chris Jackie.
Missed an extra point earlier this afternoon.
Yeah. He'd like to get back on track.
I just hate to see him take that touchdown pass away from Brad. I'd like to see him break all the records, which he's on track to do.
That would have been nice to have that. In fact, there are 2 that have eluded him in this quarter.
Mike Arthur, the normal snapper, went on IR this week. Frankie Winters reassuming those duties.
Hentrick holds. The ball's down from 32 yards away, and the kick is up and floating good. It is Chris Jackie with the field goal, and the Packers lead it 37-6, and a timeout on the field. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network. Well, today's game is brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Shop our home center departments for quality home improvement supplies. 37-6 in favor of the Green Bay Packers, and they will kick off. Hentrick to do the kicking off. Bobby Ingram is the deep man for Chicago. Packers floating to a nice, easy victory here today. We'll go 5-1 on the season. Here's the kickoff. This is a high floater that's going to come up well short at the 16-yard line. Caught there by fullback Fulkerson. Fulkerson threw a hole and a flag on the play as he comes to about the 38-yard line and tackled there. That's Don Beebe who is in on the tackle, folks. Beebe does everything, doesn't he? You'd think he was a rookie the way he plays for the Packers, and he's not a rookie.
You know, when they signed him, I thought, oh, kind of an old guy, a few miles on him, probably can't run anymore. Boy, was I wrong.
The flag is against the Bears. If you depend on your car to perform, depend on 76 Gasoline's to keep it a performance car. Well, you can tell the game's over because they've started focusing on the tailgate parties outside on television.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people have left here, Jim, but I was just about to say about the Bears, you know, when you start going bad, you start getting those calls on every kickoff. You have to go back and start bad.
And you know how we know that, Larry? We did all those games. I was going to say when you were playing, but that wouldn't be right. I didn't mean that. I'll take it all back.
That's very, very clever of you two guys. Right?
First down at the 22-yard line, Chicago. Steve Stenstrom is the quarterback now for the Bears. Stenstrom going to throw on first down, fires the ball upfield, and it is caught and immediately drilled after a gain of about 4 yards by Leroy Butler. Is the receiver, and that's Curtis Conway, I think. And he gets maybe about 4 yards on it.
Never thought it could happen, gentlemen, but during the timeouts and so forth before the kickoff, Packer fans have actually taken over Soldier Field.
Everywhere, aren't they? That's because most of the Bear fans have already gone home. Conway splits to the left on a second down. Stenstrom's a big kid, 6'1", 202. Well, not that big. Second-year player out of Stanford. Mark Butterfield is his backup now. He backed him up at Stanford. Looked like the Bears jumped off that line of scrimmage a little early. This ball is caught by Tony Carter at about the 39 on the throw by Stenstrom, and he's drilled out of bounds by Butler. They're going to give him the 31. He's about 2 yards shy of the first down. Clock is at 7:37 to go here in the fourth quarter of the game, and the Packers coasting along. Really intensely played and low-scoring first half of the game until the last 2 minutes. It was a 7-3 ball game. The Packers kind of broke it open with 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes and have dominated from that point on. Here is the handoff, and this is to the running back. That is Michael Hicks, and I believe he has a first down, and he does at the 34-yard line. Michael Hicks, out of South Carolina State at 6 foot even, 194, had been averaging a little over 3.5 yards a carry prior to today's ball game. Their running game hasn't averaged very much, but without Green and Lamont Harris, you're not going to get much. When they come back and play December 1st up in Green Bay, they will be a different-looking football team. Might even be a little different looking at the coach, but I'm not sure.
I was going to say, might be a lot of different faces.
First down at the 34 for the Bears. The Bears looking at a 2-4 record at this stage, and they would be 3 behind the Packers. Stenstrom's going to throw it out wide to the right. Oh, through the arms of Craig Newsom. Caught by Conway. Curtis Conway trying to get away, gets to the 39. If Newsom had been able to pick up the ball, he was in perfect shape to intercept it. He just never saw the ball. It went right over his head into the arms of Curtis Conway, who had great concentration to catch the ball. If you're watching on television, you'll see the replay. Now watch the ball. Newsom gets in perfect shape right there, and then he looks up, and the ball went right over his head. Man, he could have had the interception. He just didn't see it in time.
I wonder if the sun's playing a factor in that right now. It's coming right over our shoulders.
It could, but I think he just looked up an instant too late. Here's the draw play to Hicks up the middle, and Hicks runs to about the 34-yard line before he is drilled down there by Leroy Butler.
Packers with a lot of their young guys in the game right now. Darius Holland, Keith McKenzie, Bernardo Harris, Lamont Hollandquist. A lot of young guys getting some playing time.
Mike Pryor is out there in the defensive sector. He's not one of the young guys.
He's not so young.
No, but he's all right.
He's from Marion High School in Chicago Heights, about 25 miles from here.
Well, aren't you around here somewhere?
Yeah, I'm about right next door to where Mike grew up.
All right. You going home today?
No.
Okay. It's first down, second down, rather, for the Bears. About 5 yards to go at the 34-yard line. Sends Stenstrom back to throw. In a pocket. Wants to throw deep over the middle. Almost intercepted. He led the receiver, Bobby Ingram, by a long way. Ingram couldn't get around Newsom on the corner, and Eugene Robinson was playing back about the 10. He was playing a real safety that time back there and couldn't get his feet under him to come back to the ball. Well, remember, if you depend on your car to perform, depend on 76 Gasolines to keep it a performance car. Clock at 5:21 remaining. What do you got in the scoreboard there?
Not much.
Oakland 20, the Jets 6.
Yeah, Oakland making a little recovery here.
I'll tell you, the Jets lose at home. Rich Kotite is a mystery to me.
How do you get the job to begin with?
How does he keep it? Here is Hicks trying to run, and on third down, he's drilled at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be fourth down, Chicago.
Keith McKenzie making his presence felt.
Bears are going to bring in Conway. They're going to bring in John Jackson, and they're going to bring in Ryan Wetnight on a fourth down play and about 6 yards to go.
This point of the game, while it's been decided, is real important for the young guys. It's their chance to get out there and get some actual experience.
Because someday you may have to call upon them to play in a key moment of the game, and you don't want them to go out there for the first time. I think Jim McMahon will come in the next time the Packers get the ball. That'll be fun. Here is Stenstrom. I'd like to get it back right here on fourth down. And Stenstrom goes back in the pocket, now trying to throw on rhythm, and he's caught and brought down back at the 39-yard line. He is sacked. Sack for Mac, money to the Mac Fund, compliments of Budweiser beer. And I'm not sure who got him, but I think it's probably Wilkins is one of them, certainly.
Wilkins, Bernardo Harris.
Timeout on the field.
The
Packers take over. Back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network. 9 first down. Jim McMahon comes on at quarterback. I don't think he's going to be throwing it or anything, do you?
No, but the fans kind of liked it. You know, they still remember that Super Bowl.
Those two that are remaining here, they still liked it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mack, the quarterback. First down. Travis Jervey, the running back for the Packers at the 39-yard line. Here's McMahon on the handoff to Jervey. He eludes one tackler, gets to the outside on a nifty little move, and goes up to the 45. Got caught in a awkward position and pulled down, but he's all right.
Hey,
when you do the splits and you get pulled sideways, that hurts.
Made 6-7 yards.
Us older fellas, it hurts. I don't know about him. It hurts us older fellas.
The thing about Travis, he is built like a brick house. That kid is something special physically.
4:29 remaining in the game. Now the officials are going to stop the clock for some reason or other. I don't know what they stopped it for. Why did you stop the clock, sir? Because it was out of bounds, he said. And Johnny Greer said, oh, good, thank you. Second down. 5 yards to go. 37-6, in case you're just joining us. The Packers with another win in the 30s. They have had 4 of the 5 wins have been 30 points or more this year. And he runs it upfield to the Packers, Jervey, to about the 36. Let me see. Let me correct myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 wins. They have scored 30 or more points this season. The third down and about 3 yards to go for the Packers. Quality, great selection, the lowest overall prices are the reasons you should make Roundy's Pick and Save your one and only food store. For the best overall value, shop at Roundy's Pick and Save. When it comes to price, they're still talking low. You fellas got to start thinking about a most valuable player today. Player of the game. Roy Freeman qualifies.
We have to start thinking that's somewhat of a challenge.
Well, it takes you guys a while to reach a decision every week. Here's McMahon, throws it upfield to Chimura, got a first down. Jimmy Mack with his second pass of the season for a first down for the Packers at midfield, and the 49-yard line of the Bears will keep possession with 3:28 remaining.
We found a new battery here. McMahon to Thomason.
Pardon?
That was Thomason, wasn't it?
Jeff Thomason.
Was it Thomason?
Yes.
Well, that's his first catch of the day then.
Well, they got some subs in on offense.
Bob said it was the first catch by Chimura. Well, he wasn't there, so it's the first catch by Thomason.
Thomason and tight end Lindsey Knapp's playing left guard.
He is built like Mark Chimura. He doesn't look like him. He's built like him. Going to be a first down for the Packers in midfield. Here's the handoff. Jervey trying to get around the corner. Levin's trying to lay a block on does, but he can only get about a yard to about 40. I'll tell you what, the job of Travis Jervey is a thankless one, because the game is over and he just tried to run the ball, trying to run the clock out and get a few yards, and they know he's going to run it, and they're all keying up on him, and he just has to take the punishment.
No, I think he loves it. Heck,
of course.
A muscle guy like him loves to run into people, and I know it's It's a chance to play. He might break one and pretty soon be in the lineup.
Well, he and LaShawn Johnson were going to buy a pet snake. I wonder if he's got one now that LaShawn's gone. Does he have any exotic animals?
Well, actually, they were going to get a pet lion.
Yeah.
That's the one that they put
they had
the
a snake,
on.
didn't they?
Yeah.
They already had a snake.
It was when they wanted to go the lion route. Mike Holmgren got involved.
Second down. Jervy with the deep pitch goes to the left side this time behind Lindsey Knapp, and he runs it all the way down to about the 39-yard line. Let's go first down. Lindsey
broke into the clear.
Yeah.
They could have got Knapp out of the way. It'd have been an easy first down.
Well, I thought Lindsey was going to go for the first down. It's a timeout. 2-minute warning. The Packers lead 37-6. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Standard so high. The bar is so high.
Yeah, you're right. Brought to you today, the game by State Farm Insurance, the State Farm agents throughout Wisconsin. For all your family insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Next Monday night, a week from tomorrow night, the Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. And I think the stage is set.
Yeah, we won't be. There won't be much laughing and frolicking in that game. I hope there is, but that's going to be a tough game.
They're playing a late game at St. Louis today.
Derek Mays is in, but I don't think he's going to get a chance to catch the ball.
They may have jumped offside. Here's the handoff to Jervy, who drives straight ahead on the first down play down to about the 38-yard line. A quick 30-second break. This is the Packer Radio Network.
WTMJ is definitely the sports leader in this town.
Brewers, Bucks,
Badgers, Packers,
they're all on WTMJ.
Fantastic sports station.
The radio's always next to me with Jim and Max and the Packers.
Nobody calls the ball game like Bob Uecker.
I listen to WTMJ every day.
They really delve into the issues.
Jim Irwin tells it like it is.
There he goes, and fire for the touchdown!
Hey, that's not bad. You already have a job, right? News Radio 620 WTMJ, your sports information station.
WTMJ is definitely the sports leader in this town.
127, it's running down to 118 remaining in the ball game. The Packers on a second down. The handoff to Jervy on the sweep to the left behind Lindsey Knapp again. Cuts inside him down to about the 32-yard line. He'll be short of the first down by about 3 yards. But we're down to the 1-minute mark.
Lindsey's got the search part of the search and destroy thing going, but it's that destroy part we got to get him cranked up on.
Well, this season, every Packer scores one for the MAC Fund. The Packers Radio Network and participating sponsors have teamed up to continue to fight against childhood cancer with scoring for MAC. Okay. Well, I think we're going to vote for Brett Favre. Player of the game, Brett Favre, brought to you by your local Jeep and Eagle, Chrysler and Plymouth, and your friendly Dodge dealer. So I know it was a struggle, but we've decided Brett did okay. 4 touchdown passes, 18 out of 27, 246 yards, 1 deflected interception. Here's the inside handoff to Jervy, driving for the first down, and short of it. That may be the last play they have to run. I think everybody's just glad to get this thing over with, and they're going to let the clock run out. So the Packers will have won here this afternoon, and they run their record to 5 victories and a single defeat. Great start for the Green Bay Packers on this season. A minimum of staying tied for first with the Minnesota Vikings in the Central Division, and a key game coming up next week against the San Francisco 49ers before the bye week comes up for the Packers. So it's a big win. Final score, the Packers 37 and the Chicago Bears 6. Back in 1 minute after this word from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
Seconds to go in the first half. Packers leading 14-3. Favre has a bomb. Make that throwing a bomb. Antonio Freeman makes the grab. 20-3 Packers. I'd like to see it again. On the replay, Alonzo Spellman gives Favre a forearm. He would receive a penalty. Freeman making the spectacular grab as Mark Carrier falls to the turf. Brian Cox's reaction, he would receive an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in frustration. On the extra point, watch Cox. He's got his helmet off while Chris Jackie misses the point after. Cox still upset with field judge Billy Smith, and he lets him know it. Third quarter, Packers leading 20-3. Jeff Jagers kickoff. Is caught by the elusive Don Beebe. Finds his wedge, goes through his wedge, finds a seam, goes through his seam, and then you're not going to catch him. 90 yards.
Don Beebe is going to score for Green Bay.
Jager not pleased.
90 yards.
Packers roll 37-6. They made it look extremely easy. Green Bay has now defeated the Bears 5 consecutive times.
Tell all the people across the USA, I love my Green Bay Packers, who won the first Super Bowls ever played. We take our opposition and crunch them like they're crackers. That's why I love my Green Bay Packers. Tell that Rush Limbaugh, tell Hillary and Bill.
Oh, tell him what?
I love my Green Bay Packers. Tell Willard Scott, tell Oprah and Phil.
And Regis too.
I love my Green Bay Packers. I'll bet even Ditka's a secret Packer fan.
He ain't so dumb.
He knows the best shellackers. So if you're green with envy, wear gold, they're perfect matchers. That's why I love my Green Bay Packers.
Hey man, this is Elvis, and I love my Green Bay Packers.
I love my Green Bay Packers.
Oh, I'm Miss Monroe, and I love my Green Bay Packers.
I love my Green Bay Packers. Don't take this wrong, but compared to old Green Bay,
You're just a bunch.
you're just a bunch of hackers. So if you're green with envy, wear gold, they're perfect matchers. That's why I love my Green Bay Packers. Yes, we take our opposition and crunch them like they're crackers. That's why I love my Green Bay Packers. We got the best team. Go Pack! Break it down. Oh, I just love my Green Bay Packers. I love my Green Bay Packers. They love me too.